Good morning.
What's
How you doing? I'm chilling.
Something for the kids.
That's cool. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, just something for the young people.
It's
like,
young.
What's You know? Just something to start your Monday exciting. You know, something your parents won't understand, but a little something is for you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
What's
We are back in New York.
I think I'm getting older.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Not in spirit.
I'm getting old.
Why do you say that?
My legs are always sore. I was in the gym. I worked out in Montreal, and I'm still sore from Friday.
Well, didn't you take a pause ski on working out for a little while? Like you weren't working out as feverishly as you normally do?
Yeah, but I'm doing more now. I got back into my routine a bit, and I'm just sore.
But that's what I mean. That's okay, I think. I don't think... Maybe you're not getting old. It's just your body started getting conditioned to not working out at your usual pace. Then you get back to your usual pace, and your body has to adjust. I bet you get back to normal.
And I put my shirt on inside out before I left the house. Did you hear
that? That's what we came back to New York for. They couldn't have done this while we were in Montreal.
Yep.
More drilling. More core drilling.
And they promised Jim McClure they wouldn't do it.
They're like, don't worry, no more. At least no more in the mornings. Don't worry, McClure. We won't do it anymore. Fuck whatever that guy said. We're doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Travis? Do you think you could hear that over the air?
I definitely heard it. Didn't hear it last week. Quiet as a mouse.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, you were here.
Yep.
In the producer studio.
Yep.
Didn't see it like the...
No drilling last week.
Huh. And you would have heard it.
Oh, definitely.
Because you were here.
I heard that one.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
All
it
right, that's
funny?
good evidence,
Isn't
actually.
it funny those assholes couldn't do it while we were gone?
No. No, they knew. They check our Instagram, so they know exactly what kind of construction they're going to be doing on what day.
Oh, you think one of them watches live and then they're like, all right, let's get to it.
It's 7:02 in the morning.
Definitely. They wait. Should we start at 6? No.
7.
7. When did J&S get on?
Yeah.
7.
Well, plus the show after us tapes in L.A.
Right.
To be rich.
A total non-issue.
They could start at 10.
Of course they could.
Although it would bother other shows.
I mean, what difference does that make?
Exactly.
As far as we are concerned, as this channel is concerned, there's 4 hours after us that they could easily just do this.
That's right.
Where this studio is not being used for, at least for live shows. But they choose it now instead, so more power to them.
I put my shirt on inside out.
Right, that's what we were talking about. Your body's sore from exercise, and you put your shirt on inside out on accident.
By mistake.
But that doesn't mean you're getting older. That just means you're careless in the morning.
Maybe.
There, look at you. We posted a picture of the two of us, as we usually do, on our Twitter and Instagram account, and Jim's being cute, and he's pointing to the tag that's visible when it's not supposed to be visible.
It's not.
No.
It's supposed to be inside the...
Did you appreciate the way the staff said, Jim, you put your shirt on inside out, and then they all giggled and pointed at you?
I didn't mind. It was fair.
It was
what they
deserved,
should have
right?
done. Yeah, that's what I would have done. I didn't expect it to be handled with great reverence. Oh, Jim, are you okay? No, they're supposed to point out and go, you're a fucking idiot.
So you're still a little sore from Friday.
Yeah. And my drive home, I drove home.
Okay, so you're sitting, the knees get creaky.
Yeah.
You think you're getting older?
I am.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's just part of it.
You can age gracefully.
I guess so.
You know? Just in your...
I'm not. I'm kicking and screaming.
You are, but that's okay, because you know what's going to happen? Late in life, you'll become the man that you were always supposed to be.
You think?
I think so.
Oh, that's good. That's encouraging. 65.
I think so. 65, your house starts looking more and more like Liberace's. You really just become everything...
My blood doesn't look like his.
Well, I would imagine.
I would hope not.
Everything... That's okay. It's curable now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Everything that has been kind of... I think... Later in life, everything that's been bubbling for the first 50 years right under the surface, you've put yourself in a position where you can feel free for it to just bubble over. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. It's all just bubbling over.
It's all just going to bubble over, and you've surrounded yourself with enough support that everybody's going to sit there and go, yay, it's bubbling over.
I suppose so.
Yeah, the boiling water is just hitting the stove, and everybody's happy about it.
I guess.
Yeah. Did you have fun in Montreal?
I did. I had a great time. I had a really good time. Everything went well.
Shows were really good.
The shows were amazing.
Yeah, and it seemed like even from a technical standpoint, the guys back here were awesome. The guys there were awesome. Marco LaFafalo.
Yes.
He was our sound engineer who helps us out in Montreal. He was great. Jim McClure and Roland helped us out on scene from SiriusXM.
Everything went off well. Even the shows I did with you when I was on Skype. It sounded a little weird, I think, because of the headset. If I had a proper, but the studio's being fixed, so they didn't have a studio available. So that was the only hitch.
Yeah, I think it was just a different mic, and people are used to the same mic, but it didn't sound bad by any stretch of the imagination.
But if I ever did that again, or if I was ever traveling again, I would want to do it in a studio if possible.
In any
studio.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the whole thing was great, and how fun were those live shows?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love how mean Pete Holmes was, and how sarcastic. People think he's just nice, but he's not.
Talking about bubbling over.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been sitting there for 3 years doing this crashing show. Be like, all right, let's just keep everything cool. Got to be nice. The talk show didn't work out with Conan. Now I've got this opportunity. Remember,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did a talk show that came on after Conan. That didn't work out. He did Crashing for 3 seasons, which I think was a huge success. But while he's doing that, he's like, okay, got to be cool, got to be nice, got an HBO show. And then he walks into a room full of mean comedians and everything just spills out of him. And it's just like all this meanness that was pent up inside of him.
Yeah.
And I thought he did great.
I enjoyed him very much.
I was talking to Bob Kelly after the show, and we were both saying the same thing about him. Like, how funny and mean was he?
I forgot about the talk show, man. It's weird how people do things.
Did you pass gas a little?
No, I heard.
Or was that construction?
That was not me.
Oh, okay. I heard a noise.
That was me.
I did hear a noise.
How long was that talk show? Was that 1 or 2 seasons?
It wasn't long.
Okay.
It would have been. I don't know if they do talk shows by season.
I don't know. Is Conan on? Is he doing 30-minute shows now?
I think so. I think he's doing more comedy-centric 30-minute shows over on TBS.
Is it the same thing it used to be, or is it just
no? It's definitely
there's no more
different.
musical guests. There's one guest per show,
and they do like a couch sit-down type interview instead of a desk.
Oh, okay.
It's not. Yeah, they're trying to kind of. I think all these late night shows are trying to figure out where late night goes in the future, because it's been done the same way, exactly the same way. I want to say since Johnny Carson, but Steve Allen was probably doing it the way Johnny Carson did it before Carson even. I feel like he
was sitting on it, and also Jack Parr was just sitting. Jack Parr would sit and do the monologue sometimes. It was so good. He would sit on a chair or a stool and do a long monologue. But, again, there was nothing else on TV. Right. He had 90 minutes a night, too. It was a 90-minute talk show. Back in the early 60s.
Wow.
But live fucking talk show, 90 minutes.
For 90 minutes, but nothing's on.
On network TV, though.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure he was doing like 30 shares or whatever.
Dude, he had RFK on. Like they had these amazing guests. At least I think it was live in the early 60s.
Were people podcasting back then as
they
much?
were not. It was
not as much,
option,
right?
No.
Okay.
But the pressure to do a TV-friendly live show back in 1961 or 62 or whatever the fuck it was, like you had zero ability to curse, to do sexual innuendo.
Yeah, I mean, TV friendly by early 1960s standards. That's when you're still like, in the greatest generation. The 50s wholesome image of America is still floating there.
Oh, yeah, Steve Allen was the first one. Yeah, you're right. Oh, my God, there was a few guys before Ernie Kovacs, Jack LaScully, Al Collins.
Al Collins lasted for a month.
June 24th to July. Wow, I had no idea.
We're looking at the Tonight Show hosts, and Steve Allen did it for 3 years. Ernie Kovacs did it for 3 months. Jack LaScully did it for 6 months. So even back then, people talk about the late night wars like it's this kind of new-ish thing, at least within the last 20 or 30 years. But clearly, even when there was nobody else on TV, the network could not figure out who should host this show, because after Steve Allen did it for 3 years, nobody really had a run.
They did
real run until Jack Parr, and even that was only 4.5.
Well, no, what's his name? Ernie Kovacs did it October of 1956 to January of 57.
Yeah,
so that didn't go well.
No.
And then Jack LaScully, who I've never heard of, or LaScally, however you say his name, January of 57 to June. So he had a 5-month run. He kicked ass. And then I thought Jack Parr, I didn't realize those guys. Jack Parr, June of 57, he did, about almost 5 years to March of 62.
Yeah, I mean, when you break it down, Johnny Carson hosted 4,500 episodes.
Yeah.
And there were only 2,000 episodes, everybody combined, before Carson. That's how long Carson was in that chair. 62, 72, 82. He did it for 30 years.
4,000 episodes.
30 years Carson had it. If you combine Leno's first and second tenures, he's almost the same number of shows as Carson did.
37. Yeah, he's like 4,200. Yeah, he's like a year short.
Right. Conan fucked up the because Conan got his 6 months in. And that would have been Leno's.
Hey, do we have any, is there any footage of Ernie Kovacs hosting The Tonight Show or Jack LaSchool?
On YouTube?
Or Jazzbo Collins?
Jazzbo Collins? The lost episodes?
Because they've done stuff with, like, they tape over a lot of they taped over some of those.
That's what they said for a lot of the Carson library.
The Carson ones are gone.
Was taped over.
Some of them.
Because they just needed a new tape and they didn't have any. They didn't want to order new ones. And the idea of home video and rewatching shows was just not a thing. So a lot of the early Carson episodes, some of them anyway, were taped over.
They had no idea.
Because they just needed another tape.
Here's Ernie Kovac's show. Embarrassing interview. Is this The Tonight Show?
Yeah. It says.
Oh, he did a morning show.
That's when they were just getting.
Is this the Ernie Kovacs that was a baseball player?
No, you're thinking of Sandy Koufax.
Oh, Sandy Koufax. There you go. Okay.
That was way...
Thank you. Yeah.
That was way after.
Yeah.
Sandy Koufax and Ernie Kovacs.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, right.
This goes back to Jim saying he's getting older.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, no, I should have known that one. If I was old, I should have known that one. Ernie Kovacs.
Didn't Sandy Koufax host the Tonight Show at some point? Sandy Koufax was the host, yes.
Joe Maringley. Didn't he play first base for the Yankees? Showy baseball.
Joe Maringley.
Ernie Kovacs.
Do I have you? Sorry, bud.
I see the Ernie Kovacs show. I don't see him on the Tonight Show.
Well,
look at the dates because
there's not that many episodes.
Yeah, you try to see or Jazzbo Collins.
Jazzbo.
I had no idea those guys.
That's my favorite Tonight Show host.
He still thinks he's coming back.
You didn't like Al Jazzbo Collins?
I wonder if Jazzbo still thinks there's a shot.
I think so.
I bet he still thinks, Johnny didn't work out.
And he's looking now, he's like, this Fallon kid, he just doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. They're going to call Jazzbo at any moment.
I can't believe that these guys, I never heard of it. It's so funny that by the time that Jack Parr was on, they were finished.
Well, think about it, too. Al Jazzbo Collins thought that this was probably going to be a big deal for him.
Sure.
He was like, I'm going to be a staple. I'm going to host the Tonight Show. Meanwhile, all these years later, this is 1954, it's now 2019, we didn't even remember that ever happened. He's not even on the real history of this thing. Now,
the first one, episode one, like the second, Steve Allen, Ernie Kovacs, Jack LaSchool and Al Collins is the started October 1st, 1954. That's the first one?
That was when the Tonight Show started.
Yeah.
When
Steve Allen, right.
Steve Allen was the host. But that's what I mean. Like, the format of the Steve Allen? Yeah, he died. Yep. I saw him in a performance of The Great Mikado when I was in 5th grade.
What's that?
Gilbert and Sullivan play. It was in, like, I don't even remember what theater it was in. But here's, like, The Great Mikado is this Gilbert and Sullivan play, and he's got to dress up in this, he's the Mikado in it, and he's got to dress up in this sort of stereotypical Asian garb. So he's got the long, like, silk cloak on. I don't exactly know what it's called. And he's got that, like a silk fez type hat on.
Oh, yeah.
And like a Fu Manchu mustache.
I have one, yeah.
You know, okay, yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about then. And during intermission, I was in 5th grade. I went to go piss.
Oh, no. It's going to be a great story.
Steve Allen was pissing in the urinal next to me in full attire.
Was he?
Yeah. He's super tall, too. Maybe he's because I was so small.
Sure.
But he's a very tall man. He's pissing.
Did you lean over and take a toot?
Of course. So now it's a legend. You gotta respect the legend,
Did you lean
right?
over and take a draft off it?
Of course I did. He's hosted the Tonight Show. But I also, like, in hindsight, I go, you're the original host of the Tonight Show. Now you're performing in a play where you got to use the pisser that the audience uses? That's not that cool.
Where was it?
Somewhere in the city. I have no idea. I was in 5th grade. I have no idea.
I was in New York, though.
It was definitely in New York, but I'm assuming it was off Broadway.
When did he die?
I think on Broadway, they have...
2000.
On Broadway, Travis, do you know on Broadway, do they have pissers that the actors can just use on their own?
Yeah, it's usually in, like, their dressing room.
Okay.
Or backstage.
So it was probably off Broadway that we were sharing the same pisser?
Or possibly off Broadway.
Probably off Broadway. I don't know when the last time Gilbert and Sullivan hit Broadway was anyway. But the format of the show has pretty much stayed the same since 1954.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of these hosts are trying to figure out where it goes. Like I know that Seth Meyers is trying to make it a little bit more like his Weekend Update show. Like he does his monologue sitting down.
He does.
But he does it
to camera. Kind of like the Tonight, like the Daily Show.
Yeah, like the Daily Show. Exactly like the Daily Show. Yeah. So, you know.
Which I like better sitting there. I would rather sit and do a monologue than stand, because standing just feels like a very late night talk show thing. Sitting down, it feels, I would like that more, I think.
And you can use a little more visual aids, like you have a picture next to you or whatever. You know, and Colbert's doing great because he's doing super political.
Yep.
But, you know.
Is he pro-Trump?
Colbert?
Yeah.
I haven't watched in the last couple of weeks. I think he kind of is a little wishy-washy. Okay. You can never quite tell which angle he's going to go with.
Okay.
But at the same time, people have been trying that. Like when Kimmel took over or started the ABC Late Show, he thought he was going to do things differently, and he didn't wear a tie. He didn't wear a suit. Like he would make it a little bit more casual. I think he wanted it to have more of a young vibe, like the Man Show had, except without the girls on the trampolines. Yeah, younger vibe, and it just didn't work. People want, if they're gonna watch a late night show, they want it to look like the same late night show they've been watching since 1954.
How many people, they're saying Conan, he held steady with a 0.15, and like the Tonight Show did like a 0.29. What is that? How many people is that watching? Can we look that up? Like how many people, if you have a 0.29, how many people is that watching?
I think it's
nothing like what, again, because your TV is different now.
I think like a 0.29, it's like a percentage of the total viewers.
No, I'm wondering how many people translates
watching.
To.
Yeah. No, I know totally. A lot of times when they report ratings, they say
how many people?
Around 115 million households. So.
That's a Sirius XM project, by the way.
Yeah. They're rebuilding. They're building.
That's for Sirius XM.
Yeah. They're putting some more Sirius XM property under us.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Remember they said that?
Should be all wrapped up in a couple of weeks. No problem.
I will say. Oh, by the way, they put the new curtains on the. Wait, I don't want to interrupt. They put the new curtains on the outside. And the studio does look good. Eventually, we will drop these cameras that we have in here. It looks really good. They did a good job in here.
Yes.
I can see Teft.
Studio looks great. Sounds terrible because there's construction going on under us. But
are we leaving these TVs up like this, or are we getting new ones?
I think for now, we're leaving them up.
Okay.
You know, the only reason they were thinking about taking them down was because they would block cameras, but I think they put the cameras in a spot that they aren't blocked.
No, we're going to get new ones, though.
Oh, we are getting new ones?
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to McClure about this. These are like 15-year-old TV. We brought these over from XM.
But these are cool.
These are like plasma TV.
It's cool because they're flat screen.
Yeah, and they're also 8 inches like thick.
But aren't they HD?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not.
They probably are not HD.
But isn't it funny how we're looking at our flat screens now? And I still remember when they talked about flat screens hanging on the wall, and you couldn't believe this Japanese TV is going to hang on the wall. And you're
Get
like,
the
oh, fuck
out of here.
It's not going to happen. The whole house will fall. I had one of those. I forgot even those giant ones when I lived on 43rd Street with Bob Kelly lived in my building. It was between 10th and 11th. And I got one of the first things I did living in this cool new apartment was get a giant TV, the type on wheels that you push in. It has a fucking back that's like probably 2 feet thick. Just a giant screen that you would roll in. And I remember watching The Ring. Keith Robinson gave me a bootleg copy of The Ring, and it scared me so much I had to sleep with the lights on.
And you were a child at the time?
No, I was a grown man living in New York. It was after Opie and Anthony got fired the first time.
Were you just worried that there was a well near your house
yes,
that this girl would crawl out of?
Oh my God. Tough Crowd started. I was so scared watching that movie.
I was so scared. Was that the last time you got scared like that during a movie?
No. You know what I saw recently which fucking scared me? Annabelle.
Not the new one.
The new one was horrifying.
Oh my God, Jim.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was scary.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. There was some
so stupid,
very frightening moments.
Man, I love
isolation.
I love the Conjuring series.
Yeah,
all of them. I love the whole. I own all of them. I'll buy this Annabelle movie. Annabelle Comes Home. I'll buy it when it comes out just because to have in my collection. I love everything about it. But I watched it in the theater. It came out like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
It was like easily the worst one they've ever
It
done.
probably was, but it scared me.
It was like nonsense. It was like it was. I found it when I left. I was like, okay, it was fun. Like I wasn't upset that I saw it, but I said that probably scared me on the level of Disney's Haunted House.
No,
like I would
there
feel
was some
comfortable
really
bringing
horror-
a child to that film.
There was some very scary. I'll tell you what scared me. It was more the way they isolated all three of them pretty well. Like, I noticed that this film did a good job of finding ways to isolate all three, and I like that the doll doesn't do anything. The doll isn't corny and talking. Like it moves, like goes from place to place, but it was it didn't. The doll didn't do anything annoying. There was some of it was terrible, but there was some, like I didn't like the things with the fucking the coins on their eyes didn't scare me.
Right.
But the way they placed them in the darkness was horrifying.
The doll
I was very scared.
The doll's possessed, so it's the demon that's really doing the work, not like it's this walking, talking doll.
I was very frightened.
Yeah, no, I no
Poor
point.
Jim.
It was
Watching
really
the girl alone in that room. It was just the being
That is-
alone in
dude,
the
that
dark
is
areas.
So funny.
The alone was scary.
Jim's just scared of being alone.
I mean, that's
That's all
you know.
it
I
is.
No, but
honestly,
when the girl came
you
up
need to
in the-
stop paying this therapist of yours and tell your movies to Travis because he just figured you out.
No, but the doll's in the bed. It was hard. It was scary.
It
She walks
wasn't,
in, the
dude.
doll's in the girl's bed. I was
It
like,
was
oh,
not-
don't let her sleep with her.
Sam, was it scary?
No, it was not a scary movie. It was so stupid.
It was scary.
It was.
I was frightened.
It's very stupid.
That Chucky remake really came and went, right?
It stunk. I walked out. I couldn't watch it.
Oh,
Or Godzilla. I saw part of Godzilla, that big fat Godzilla with a tiny head.
Okay. You couldn't even hold yourself back, Travis. You know he doesn't like it.
Fucking Godzilla. His little teeny head. I hated it. Shut it.
Wasn't that supposed to be Millie Bobby Brown's big thing for the
yeah,
summer?
she was the star.
But it didn't.
Why
Godzilla
was his head
didn't-
that small?
Nobody wanted to go see it.
Because his fucking head was small. No one wants to see a fucking pinhead Godzilla.
That's actually. No, you know what? You bring up a great point.
A little tackhead Godzilla. He looks stupid.
It's less scary when you see that the head is very small.
He's out of shape. Nobody wants to see a fat overeater Godzilla.
He looks like
with
if
fat legs.
he looks like if Dennis Falcone got very fat.
Isn't that what he always looks like, though?
No, he's supposed to have a bigger head.
He has in the past had a bigger head.
His head should have been more menacing.
He's less cone shaped in a lot of the other films.
Yeah, I don't care if it's true to life. Look at his little dumb fucking head
Yeah, his
and
head
his
is
fat
too small.
legs. Do you
My-
ever, he looks like Colte from fucking 90 Day Fiance.
Now Larissa.
By the way, my favorite person on TV is Colt from 90 Day Fiance.
He's the greatest.
Did they have the finale last night?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it
Because
today.
the app stinks so bad for them, I can never figure out how to watch it. Buy the new episode, like sign in. How many times do I have to sign into my fucking...
You got on demand on cable.
The app is such shit.
A lot of the apps are bad, but you got on demand on cable. You can handle it.
The head used to be bigger, it was better.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Child's Play remake a lot.
Oh, it was awful.
I mean, I wasn't sitting there.
Was the name the same as it used to be?
Child's Play?
No, the name of the doll. What was the name of
Chucky?
the, what was the name of the doll in the first one?
Chucky.
No, but what on the box?
Oh, Good Guy.
No, what'd they call it this time?
I think they called it Good Guy again.
No, it was something different, I thought.
I didn't see it.
It was
Yeah.
so bad.
Buddy doll?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't. Who said Buddy Doll?
Stupid Mike Montone.
I think he was right. There was something different this time.
Yeah, no, it was based on My Buddy Doll, but I don't.
Oh, I love
Good
my
guy.
buddy.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
it 100 times.
No,
yeah.
is that the new one?
That looks like the old one.
Yeah, that's the old
What
one.
was the name of the doll on the new one? I thought it was something else on the box.
Just like Child's Play doll.
You walked out, Jim? You didn't stay
It
for
was
all of
so corny and awful.
Well, when did you walk out?
And the doll started doing shit. I just didn't care.
All right, so
that? When the plot really started
No,
advancing.
I don't know. I don't know what you
Yeah,
were expecting.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I'm not.
I didn't realize it was a remake.
What'd you think it
It
was?
was a new one. It was like, I'll just go. But
Oh yeah, they do call it Buddy. Buddi.
yeah,
And the Buddy is like with the Wi-Fi signal on the eye.
yeah, they updated it a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean
I got it.
it made. I think if you walked out because the doll was walking and
No,
talking,
I just didn't like it. I just thought that's not good.
I don't know what you were expecting, to tell you the
It just
truth.
it wasn't scary. It was like corny. Like, oh no, I get it. Like Annabelle scared me. That was the movie about a doll that frightened me. This didn't, because the doll was doing shit. When the doll just kind of sits there and you're looking at you, you're like, that's creepy.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I hated the fucking mother's boyfriend in this Chucky one.
Well, yeah, I mean, spoiler alert. Chucky killed him.
Yeah, I know, but it was so corny.
Oh, you saw when he killed him?
Yes.
Well, it was a slasher movie.
Yeah, I know, but
Right.
it didn't frighten me or do anything.
Do you
for
like
me.
slasher movies?
Sure, if they're good. I like a good slasher
Like,
movie.
what's a good slasher movie you like?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre was great.
Great. It's the classic, right?
Evil Dead.
Halloween 2018.
He didn't like that one.
Right.
He liked Annabelle better. He liked Annabelle
much
Comes Home
better.
Better than Halloween
Much-
2018.
much better.
That's crazy, man.
Much better. Scared me more. Halloween 2018 didn't scare me.
Yeah, I don't ever get, I guess I get scared. I don't sit there going like, oh, am I scared or not scared?
That's how I judge a horror movie, sure.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just, when I go, I just either enjoy myself or not.
I saw a horror movie recently. It was a movie about how
What was it?
rich Americans pay less for percentage of tax than poor Americans.
No, that's the real horror movie.
Yeah, it's a real horror movie.
I'm so glad you've gotten so woke. I'll tell you why I like the new Child's Play movie, because they don't really make violent, gory slashers in theaters like they used to. It's kind of a lost genre.
Yeah.
And the fact that this was like an unapologetic, violent,
Yeah.
gory slasher movie. I was like, this is great. This is what I've been looking for. I feel so good again.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I just wish they would have. I just didn't like how they did it. I don't know why I didn't like it. I was watching. I was like, it just didn't interest me. Like,
Yeah.
And Godzilla was okay, but I was so tired.
I didn't bother with Godzilla.
You know what was good with Godzilla was the fucking graphics and the CGI. I thought was good, but I just didn't. What was the one where he was on his tail? Go back. There was one where he was doing something on his tail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the graphics compared to the original Godzillas when it was just goofy puppets and guys in rubber suits and stuff. Although there's something charming about those old ones, right?
Yeah. Is that little dumb nephew of his,
Yeah.
Kadzuki?
Godzuki.
Hated him.
So I'm not going to bother seeing The Lion King. I've decided. I didn't see it the last 2 weekends. I'm not going to bother seeing it. I saw the cartoon. I know how it goes.
I love that her fucking album is bombing.
Beyonce's?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's interested. The movie's doing really well.
I'm sure.
But the music, I haven't heard anything about.
It's boring, the song. Her song is boring.
It's boring. I agree with you. I'm not going to bother with the Toy Story movie. The franchise movies, I'm not, unless they're horror franchises.
Toy Story was great.
I'm not really going to bother with. I can, I'm sure if you like the Toy Story movies, that this is a good Toy Story movie. But as I've told you before, I like Midsummer is still my favorite movie of the summer. And
I still haven't seen it.
I don't know where you're going to land on it. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is right there in second place.
I
if
forgot
not
that's
creeping up first. It is so good. I went and saw it on Saturday. I saw it in 35 millimeter.
I'll have a movie date with someone. And
Okay.
Go.
All right. Good.
Looking for a movie date? Anyone?
I was no takers so far.
Travis.
Well, he wants
I'll
to.
go. Well, I'll see it every day.
Yeah, I'm dying to see
You
this.
saw it?
It's great.
Great.
It's great. It's Leonardo
You
DiCaprio.
almost called him Leo, didn't
I know,
you?
but
You
I'm not
caught
gonna-
yourself. That's what
But I
Sam
caught
does
myself.
when he's around his friends and family. He calls him Leo.
But I caught myself. It
I
doesn't
know, but
count.
because you're on the air.
But it doesn't count.
But in private, so that's what Sam does around people. Like, Leo DiCaprio. It's like, oh God, he really is Hollywood.
Do you think he has conversations with Leo in his head?
Yeah, he does.
No, it's just how I convince people.
Leo's
that
like, what you've done with wrestling is so amazing.
It's how I convince people that I'm industry.
Yep.
You know, when I'm talking to my friends from high school and stuff, I'm like, Leo DiCaprio, he did well
Leo,
in this.
oh
but-
my God,
yeah.
you know. Well,
Oh,
no,
well,
but
you
he's a
know.
wrestling fan.
Yeah, we're in the same industry. It was so good, dude. I loved it. It's 2.5 hours. So, but I'll tell you this. I posted the thing on Instagram that I was like, how much I liked it and that you should go see it. And I saw it in 35 millimeter. Travis got to see it on one of the 70 millimeter screenings, which there's only like 5 in the country. But I thought it was great. And the people who said it was either too long or they just didn't like it, I have to tell you, I was judging them and I think that they're stupid.
I would agree with you.
Right? Like I think that if you sit there and you're like, this is too long, you're not that smart.
You're a dumb person.
And you don't appreciate movies and you're stupid.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'll co-sign that.
Like if somebody goes, I thought it was too long, it's not a conversation I want to have because I don't want to have to talk down to somebody. I feel like they want to understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I hear that about my dick all the time.
But and also, at this point in the life of Tarantino, anybody that goes to a Quentin Tarantino movie and isn't expecting 2.5 hours minimum, what do you know about this guy?
Yeah.
What do you know about this dude? He's going to sit there. There's going to be a few dialogue-heavy scenes. There's going to be a lot of scenes that aren't necessarily essential to the plot, but are essential to the character. And there's going to be tons of cool shit nonstop.
It was great.
It was great. It was not, I wasn't...
Do you think those guys were treated well on set?
Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, Al Pacino.
Oh, Pacino was in that, right? How was he?
Everyone's good.
Everybody's perfect in it.
You know who's great?
Who?
What's his name? Emil Hirsch.
Yes, he plays
He plays Sharon Tate's
Sharon
friend.
Tate's cuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great.
He was great. Well, Emil Hirsch is a great actor.
He really is.
Who plays Manson? I should have played Manson.
Some unknown guy.
Yeah.
You should have played him?
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
Dude, and if you're
weird. I don't see it.
over if you're over serial killer stuff and Manson stuff, I know that some people were
Luke
like
Perry was in this.
Luke Perry. Yeah,
His
he's in
last movie.
Yeah.
and he's in for like one scene. Awesome.
Yep.
He's great in it. And if you're one of those that are kind of over serial killer stories and are kind of over, this is not a Manson movie.
Right.
And it's if you're done hearing about Charles Manson, it's still perfect.
Squeaky Promise, Dakota Fanning. What a great...
She was great.
That was
I didn't
Dakota
even
Fanning?
know it was Dakota Fanning.
Wow.
She was great.
Yeah, Dakota Fanning.
You know who
and
else was good?
Uma Thurman's kid.
Oh, yeah, she was
She
in
was
it.
one of the Manson kids.
Lena Dunham. I was fine.
Lena Dunham
I
was-
don't even like her, but I was.
Who'd she play?
She played
one of the Manson kids.
What's her name? Gypsy or
Yeah.
yeah.
She was good, huh?
Yeah,
She's great. And she's cast well.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. He loves Kurt Russell.
loves
Yep.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell because Kurt Russell got a role and he was the narrator, right? That was Kurt Russell's
Yes.
voice. Yeah.
Plus, Kurt Russell can play anybody.
But he was
Pacino
also
played
in the
Marvin
movie.
Schwartz. Who was that? A real guy character?
Schwarz.
Not Schwartz.
Schwarz.
Who's that?
It was an agent.
Yeah, just a Hollywood guy, but it's like totally, it's 1969 Hollywood, LA, like
Pacino.
DiCaprio's this actor who is just on the verge of becoming washed up and never really, like he's a TV actor, and that's back when film and TV were totally different.
What a weird thing to make a movie about.
It's just Tarantino. He grew up in LA and he's been obsessed with film since he's a kid. And this is just what he loves.
Oh, he grew up in LA. That's right.
He did.
Yeah, he said that this is like his most personal movie.
And it felt like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It felt like he wasn't. It feels good because, almost when you watch like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, you feel like when you look back on it, they're amazing movies.
Sure.
But they're also the movies of a guy who's finally getting to make a movie. And so he's kind of trying to get so much stuff into him, right? Like he's trying to get all these scenes that he's always envisioned. He's just trying to get him into a movie. Whereas now he's got the creativity to just take its kernels of ideas and just expand and expand and expand.
Yeah. He's a fucking great storyteller, man.
Great
my
storyteller.
favorite.
Great storyteller. I sometimes get annoyed. I feel like I get annoyed sometimes at his dialogue. I have in the past.
Have you?
Yeah.
You don't like the language, huh? Sam's a real liberal.
I don't like the cursing. It's too much cursing. No, it feels like he's just doing scenes for himself sometimes.
Well, he's his biggest fan.
Absolutely. But I didn't even feel
I didn't feel that once.
not once in this movie. No. This is probably, it's definitely the best thing he's done since. Has he done anything since Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah,
What did he do in between?
Django
Oh yeah,
and The Hateful Eight.
yeah. This was better.
I
than-
enjoyed The Hateful Eight.
I
So
enjoyed
did
both
I've
those a
enjoyed
lot.
every single one of his movies, but this was his best since Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, that's fair, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Some people don't like that movie.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah,
I had mixed feelings.
People
about it.
are
I liked it
stupid.
more when I watched it again. Like obviously the monologue that fucking
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz gives at the beginning is so unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Because it's so not menacing.
Well, you know what?
It's cheery.
I think people.
It's the best
yeah,
thing he's ever done.
It's great.
That who's ever done Christoph
Quentin.
Waltz?
It's the best thing Quentin's ever written.
That scene.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's the best thing
Oh,
Christoph
that
Waltz has
scene.
ever acted. It's just
it's so tense.
Yeah.
fucking perfect.
But
And it's
like,
like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
What do
I
peop-
like milk.
do people not like it because that's not how Hitler died? That didn't really happen. That's not true.
They
it's
don't
just
like
a
how it's
movie.
not accurate.
Right.
But it's weird how he can just get you into that vibe and you don't care. Like he's really
He's
great.
the fucking best.
Well, he's
He is
also-
I think he's the. I don't think there's anybody I like more than Tarantino.
He's also so heavily influenced by movies in like the late 60s that were these exploitation movies.
He loves Jeff Wu.
Jeff Wu? I don't know that actor. I know most actors whose names start with a J. Does his name start with a J?
He's a director.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know Jeff Wu.
Yeah.
Oh. But like exploitation movies back in the day would do stuff like that all the time. They would kill Nazis and kill Hitler and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing that happened. So, I also think that sometimes people don't realize that this was all going on and he's so heavily influenced. I mean, some of his movies, you can find almost the identical scene in other movies, but they're just these like tiny sort of grindhouse exploitation movies from the late 60s and early 70s, which are all amazing.
Isn't it weird that it takes him 2 or 3 years, or 3 or 4 years? Can you believe The Hateful Eight was 4 years ago? Like,
That's usually the amount of time between his movies. About 4 years.
Yeah, because he writes 700-page scripts.
Yeah. And he spends time writing it, writing it again.
Was this the one that he wrote the entire thing and then threw it away?
No, that was Hateful Eight.
Right, because
it got leaked.
the script
It leaked, yeah. And the fact, I remember that. I can't.
By the
believe
way, I
4
just
years
said
ago.
script and you just said licked.
Yeah, it's okay.
we're so on the same page
I know.
sometimes, Jim.
But I'm not the only one getting older, which is nice.
You like that?
Yep.
Well, you're getting older a lot quicker than me,
I
though.
sure am.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You're
But
inching
it took,
towards...
it took me longer to begin falling apart.
Well, that's true.
Script.
You said leaked.
Yes, I did.
Or licked. Whatever it was.
Licked. Leaked. One usually follows the other.
Let's go to Mike in Delaware. What's up, Mike?
Hey, good morning, guys. I
Hello.
agree. I love the movie. I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was great, too.
But I think all the people who are bashing it are hippies, and I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but the dirty hippies are the ones bashing the movie because they're resentful.
Maybe you're right. I appreciate that. Maybe. Brad Pitt is so goddamn cool in this thing. Like, you leave going
He's
like...
the star of the movie.
He is.
Yeah. And I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves.
I typically don't
general?
enjoy him, so.
In general. Like, he's just a great fucking actor.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah. But I don't think he's as respected as he should be.
Because he's too pretty.
Yeah.
No, I don't necessarily like. I don't hate him, but I mean, I don't enjoy.
Well, you
usually-
didn't like him in Inglourious Bastards.
No.
Oh, my God.
Nazis.
He's so great in Inglourious Bastards.
No, I didn't think so.
I thought he was amazing. Yeah, Travis and I were texting over the weekend, actually. We were debating whether or not you would like Once Upon a Time in
I'm
Hollywood.
still not sure.
I'm not sure either. It could. Well, that's a fun thing about Jim going to movies. Like, I swear to you, I would have told him, do not go see Annabelle Comes Home. You will not like Annabelle Comes Home. It is a stupid movie. It is a ridiculous movie. It is just there to fill time. And then he comes out and he's like,
It was so scary.
it was great. I walked out of Child's Play, but I loved Annabelle. I'm like, I don't know. I can't call it. I can never call it with Jim, and I love that.
Yeah, I'll see this. I'll probably enjoy it. I mean,
I think you'll enjoy it.
I love most of Tarantino's things. I can't think of anything some I dislike. I've never seen the entire Jackie Brown.
Oh my God, I rewatched it over the weekend. It's so good.
Because you're making your Tarantino list?
Yeah. I'll tell you what happened. I went to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And
Did
then
you see it twice this weekend?
And then I went home and I watched Jackie Brown. And then I was like, you know what? Let me revisit Reservoir Dogs. And I watched Reservoir Dogs. So I watched 3 Tarantino movies back to back to back.
Did you enjoy that?
Somebody
Have
was home
nothing to
alone
do?
this weekend.
Somebody was home alone.
Were you eating poorly?
I always eat poorly. I didn't eat any different than I
Were
usually
you
do.
snacking watching them?
I may have had some Frito scoops with some salsa and sour cream.
Oh,
that sounds great.
Frito scoop.
Let me ask you this. Is there any possibility that there was a DiGiorno's and Tarantino marathon going on?
There's some DiGiorno.
Oh,
What's
my
a DiGiorno?
God.
What's a
It's not
DiGiorno?
delivery.
Yeah, it's not delivery, Jim.
It's DiGiorno.
Oh, right. You can make it at home?
Yeah.
In the oven?
It's got a rising
Yeah.
crust.
It's delicious.
You like a DiGiorno?
I like the whole thing.
Did you eat it all?
Yeah, what am I going to save it?
No, you're right.
How long does
later?
it take in the oven?
20 minutes?
Yeah, it takes a good amount of time.
So
It
what you
takes
do is
longer-
you preheat the oven first?
Have you
Oh
never
my
made
God.
food?
No, my oven still has cardboard in it.
That's
That's
right.
right.
You don't know how to. Oh my God.
Do you preheat?
Yeah, yes. This is how food is generally cooked. You preheat the oven until it's at the correct temperature.
But guess what?
What?
You know what I do sometimes?
What do you do?
I do not preheat.
Whoa.
I leave it in for a couple extra minutes instead.
Whoa.
Because I don't want to wait around. Time is valuable.
I'd love to make it DiGiorno someday. It's probably good.
It's like, Jim. You just put the temperature and the time on
Put
the
some
oven
fucking
and put
mustard.
It in.
I'd probably have mustard. I would dip it in.
In a pizza?
Why would you?
On the side.
Mustard with
on pizza?
Dijon on the side. I would dip my pizza in the mustard. I'd be out of my mind.
Why would you dip your pizza in
I eat
mustard?
mustard on eggs. I eat mustard on everything.
You have a pizza? It's got tomato sauce already
A little
on
bit
it.
on the side, yeah.
You just give it just for a little dip? You hear the knocking?
Huh?
Me too. You
Hope
just
one
want
of the workers is trapped in the wall.
like Luke Perry on Oz.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, you got stripped naked and they put him behind a wall and plastered over him.
And killed him?
Oh yeah, not a good way to go.
While he was alive?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
They didn't like him. He was a pastor and he was trying to get people to follow him, but another guy wanted people to follow him, and it became like a gang thing. So they put him behind a wall and they put bricks over him.
Was he screaming?
Oh yeah, he is pissed, but he didn't get out.
How'd they keep him there?
They put the bricks dried.
No, but how'd they keep him from pushing out?
He must have been tied up or something. I don't really remember. It's been a long time since I watched
Is that how he
show.
died?
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, God.
He got buried alive behind a brick wall.
Can you imagine?
To be the worst.
Did you see that story last week where they found that guy in the supermarket?
Yep. He fell behind.
Yeah.
My thing is this, though. I think he was behind this cooler for 10 years, dead. They said he might have fell behind. It's like an 18-inch thing. Did he...
So the story
fall,
is...
I wonder if he was sleepy on the top. He was...
Oh, he took a nap on top or something?
And then when you roll in your sleep and fell behind the cooler. Because they said that people would go there to escape.
Yeah.
To take like a little sneaky break.
The story is in a
Sneaky break.
in a supermarket, they found a body that was dead behind the freezer. And it had been dead for how long, Travis? Do you remember?
Over 10 years. The
10
kid went missing
years.
10 years ago.
He left his house angry and never saw his family again.
And as it turns out, he had just fallen behind the fridge
At
somehow.
work.
Yeah.
And he just died there.
Yeah,
Nobody
but
knew he was there.
He got wedged, but I don't know if he died. Like, you wonder, did he suffer or did he roll over and just die when he fell? Like, I guess hopefully an autopsy can tell if he had head trauma.
You
or
hope that he just busted his head on something and died.
something tells me he fell upside down and then just suffocated.
Um,
Like the kid in that car, remember that teenager in that car was reaching from behind something.
Oh, my God.
And the seat collapsed on top of him. Man.
let's go to Cassius in Brooklyn. What's up, Cassius?
Oh,
Hey, good morning.
Morning,
hello.
bud.
I don't know if we can really trust your Tarantino judgment. You guys all say that you like The Hateful Eight.
I did. I'm not saying it's his best film, but I did enjoy it.
Why, you didn't like it?
I had to turn it off after like 20 minutes in. Like the goddamn the monologuing that he has the characters do. Like instead
Cassius,
of talking,
can I tell you something? I think you might be stupid.
maybe.
How do you know if you like a
No.
movie after 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think you might be stupid. I think that might be the problem.
No, not at
Where's
all.
the action? Where's the explosions? I don't understand. Where's the guns?
You don't think it's ridiculous? You don't think it's ridiculous how he has his characters just babble on and on like
Look,
like
kinda
they're
what he
not
does.
even talking to each other. They're just going on monologues. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to tell you something. Quentin Tarantino is probably the most...
He's a sack of shit. That's what he is.
He's the most
He's a totally overrated sack of crap.
No, he's really not. I mean, when you look at Pulp
Yes,
Fiction, and
he is.
he talks about, he makes uninteresting subjects interesting. Like, and there are real conversations. Like that silly thing about Madonna being a virgin. Like that's how guys talk. It's just nonsense. It's what people talk about.
He's the most indulgent filmmaker maybe of all time. Like so much of what he does is so indulgent. And when he slips into indulgence at times, he loses me too. I know what you're saying, Cassius. But Hateful Eight...
He's so in love with himself as a writer. Like
That's what
it's
indulgent
overly
means.
loquacious. He just the vocabulary. He's sitting there just jerking off as he's writing his script.
No, you're
Oh,
right.
I'm so fucking brilliant.
But he's interesting, and he does
No,
something
Jimmy's
different
right.
than anybody else is doing.
But
He's right.
Hateful Eight is one of the best written, sort of tense. Like it had me from start to finish the entire time.
Horrible.
I could have watched another hour.
You
of
didn't
it.
like Jennifer Jason
Horrible.
Leigh as Daisy,
He turned off the movie before she even came in.
and you didn't like her singing.
No, bullshit. No. I turned it off after they stop and they're in the cabin. You know, so maybe it's a half hour in or 40 minutes. Something.
Give it another
You know,
shot.
they're in that cabin after she's gotten beat up, and then he introduces all the characters in the cabin, and they're just babbling on forever. And like, it's just so ridiculous. But
Look,
nobody talks like that in real life.
I disagree. I enjoyed it a
People
great deal.
fucking on and on.
Call me
It's
a
like
film.
He learned how to write. He learned how to write screenplays by studying playwriting. It's the way you write a play. It's
Oh.
too wordy for cinema.
But it works though.
It was written as a play.
It hasn't worked for Tarantino, and it has not panned out for him yet.
What about? I haven't even seen the new one yet, but in the trailer,
Okay, look.
clip.
Look, Cassius, I have to tell you
he's gonna
something.
hate this
I
movie.
can't. I
No,
can't.
no. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. I can't have a
Hold on, let
conversation.
me tell everyone something.
I have
What
a
is this
wait.
dumb line
I have
where
a
Brad
difficult-
Pitt says,
Okay.
"I carry his load." Like, you know, and we're supposed to find this so funny. The stupid.
It's a joke.
Yeah, I carry his load. It's so dumb.
Look,
It's so.
I have a
fucking
tough time
cheeseball.
having a conversation about film with somebody who watched one movie for 20 minutes and the next one he saw the trailer and is trying to present his opinion.
You're not being fair.
like you've
I've seen almost all of his other movies. Like I said, I've only not seen Django. I've seen all the others.
You've seen 22 minutes out of 5 hours. that
I
you're
told you
making
maybe
fun
half
of.
hour, 40 minutes.
Now all of a sudden you've
Jesus
seen half of it.
Right.
Okay, goodbye, Cassius.
Goodbye. I want to get the audio thing. I can't hear the callers. It sounds like they're talking like that. It's too loud. There's something with the.
It sounds loud for me too.
It
It's
does.
Volume. Maybe the volume could come.
There's
I think
something
it's just the
off. And I don't know
phone.
what it is. Maybe it's the phone, but every
Just,
single
yeah,
phone caller.
pot it down a little.
I hear you guys fine, and
Yeah.
I do not hear the call. The callers don't sound like they're coming like that. Like it just sounds wrong.
Might be
Everyone, not just one
Yeah.
or two.
Yeah.
And you are here fine, and Travis are here fine.
I don't take people, maybe I'm being a film snob, but I don't take people's opinions seriously who walk out of movies.
If it's a bad movie, I mean, like I've sat through movies I hated many, many times, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like I'm at a point now where I know I'm not going to like it. Like Chucky, I thought it was terrible.
Right.
I'm not liking this. What am I doing?
I can't get back on board.
There's an OCD about saying watching the whole thing, but like, why would I waste my time on something that I've given a chance to? It's like eating food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you take 5 bites of something and you're like, this stinks, there's the OCD part of me that's like, finish. But I'm like, why? I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, but that's different than a movie because it's not like the food is going to change as you keep eating it.
There's
No.
no prestige at the end of the food.
Yeah.
Ah.
But you're still not liking it. And how long do you have to not like something before you finally
Movies
admit to
turn around,
yourself
though.
that it's just not who you are?
No, you're right. Sometimes you just got to cut bait, don't you?
Other times, yeah, you just have to just walk away and cut your losses.
Understand.
Yep.
For you, you're going in a different direction.
This is just not, I'm not enjoying this
And it's
anymore.
okay for other people to be enjoying the film.
It's probably more people will enjoy it than not.
But for you,
Not enjoying the film anymore.
you're looking at the theater across the way.
Absolutely. I want a
Yes.
different kind of movie.
I get it. Okay, no, that makes sense. Let's go to, and you can tell me if the phones sound okay or not to you. Matt in North Carolina.
Hey guys, long time, kind of first time calling in. Enjoy it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's fucking awesome.
Right.
Fuck that other guy. He's a fucking idiot. Tarantino's a genius, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is perfectly written.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I want to see it. I just didn't realize it was out yet. I'll see it this week.
Go see it today.
Even when if it's something Tarantino I don't love, I always like wind up enjoying it anyway. Like I won't walk out of a Tarantino movie.
Right.
you
And
know,
also, I mean,
I just wouldn't.
Jim should go. I mean, he can go to the 70mm one at Village East.
do you care?
I
Go see it
would
in
see it
70
like that,
millimeter.
but it's not the big deal to me.
But it's in like the 20s on 2nd Avenue.
Might as well, right? If you have the
Oh, okay.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
it's right there.
I
Yeah,
love
maybe
getting
I
to see it on 35. I would have seen it in 70 if I lived in the city, but I love seeing it on 35 millimeters.
I'll just see it regular.
Just seeing it on film. I like when movies are on film.
Yeah.
See it on film. Support film.
All right, will
Why?
you
It's
tell
more
whoever is
expensive.
on the goddamn phones to stop yelling?
It's Mike Montone. He's
All
very
right.
loud.
Tell him
Can't
to be
help it.
quiet
He's a
on the
Marine.
phones because there's a microphone in the room.
Marines aren't known for being quiet.
I know they're not, but he's not a Marine anymore. Now he's a phone
Say, what's this, a
screener.
library? A library? No, it's a Marine Corps barracks. So
He was a Marine. now a phone screener.
I would never tell Mike Montone to be quiet. You can tell him if you want.
You're his boss.
Yeah, but I'm scared of him. He's muscles.
Like, he's got big arms, okay?
Very big arms.
That's all right, Travis. You walk with a big emotional and mental stick.
That's right.
True.
Right.
That'll get me places.
Yeah, sure will.
Big arms, big voice. Let's go to Tom in Philly. What's up, Tom?
Hey, what's up, guys? Here's the deal. You people, and that's not just you guys, all of you people saying this is a good movie
Great
are
movie.
full of shit.
What?
I love Tarantino. Inglourious Basterds is fucking great. Hateful Eight is an amazing movie. It has a fucking M. Night Shyamalan twist ending. It's amazing.
Did you watch more than 20 minutes?
To be honest, I watched the entire thing.
Oh.
This movie blew.
What are you doing?
It was boring the whole time. It was all... Now, the best thing was the Easter eggs. You're right about the indulgence. There was 25 minutes of girls' feet on the show, on the movie.
Oh, my God, dude.
There's a lot of feet.
Dude, Tarantino, the older he gets, the more blatant he gets about how much he loves feet. If I could tell you how many times a woman's feet were up in the air, right in the camera, for no reason whatsoever.
And I asked him about a foot fetish, and he didn't want to talk
That's
about
right.
it. Do you remember that? He wanted to talk about
shot
it.
it down real fast.
Right.
I mean, it was so, as you're watching, it's so blatant that I'm sitting there going, okay, there must be a reason that those feet are being shown. Like, something is going to happen with those feet, and nothing happens. It's not even like Kill Bill.
I feel like he's just fucking with the audience now.
He's not. He's giving himself a little jerk fodder for later.
I mean, Margot
It's
Robbie's
turning into
feet.
It's turning into his own Chekhov's gun. At some point, somebody's feet are going to come off. The other funny thing about this movie, now I called to hate on the movie. Now I'm telling you what I liked about it.
It was great.
The other funny thing about this movie was there was a James Woods bit to it too, right? Where Leonardo was hacking and coughing the whole time, which I got such a kick out of.
Yeah, I mean, was that a James Wood? Because I definitely thought it was...
Not James Woods, I'm sorry, Ed Wood, where he's, somebody sneezing in the background.
James Wood's twist would be that there's a guy with a big dick who likes trumpet.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it, I guess, I
didn't see that.
I know that he was definitely coughing and hacking like the whole movie, and he was stuttering a lot, but I just thought it was a little quirk.
That was the best. Here's the deal. It's an Emperor Has No Clothes. This is Tarantino's worst movie.
Okay, just a minute ago, you were talking about stuff that you liked.
Yeah, I know. You can still like stuff in bed.
So you know what's funny? You know what I love? Like, Tom in Philly is like, anybody that's saying they like the movie is full of shit. And just a minute ago, I said anybody that didn't like the movie is stupid. It's like we're both coming from the absolute worst places to have
You're really
conversations.
defining people's entire being by how they feel about a film. I don't love Brad Pitt, so I'm not expecting to love this.
He's the best.
He's
part.
the
However,
best.
Tim, ironically, you and I are both finding things that we either do or don't like about it. So we're really the smartest ones, aren't we, Tim?
We are the smart ones, Tom. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we can make our declarative statements, which are always, I think, the best. Let's go to Sean in Canada. What's up, Sean?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back to New York.
Yeah, it's actually come back to drilling.
Was there drilling?
Hey,
I didn't notice it, but Travis said he heard it.
I heard it. But I was just wondering, hey, Jim, did you like Brad Pitt and Troy?
I didn't see Troy.
Oh, yeah, you should see Troy.
You should see. He looks off into the distance a lot.
I probably...
He's super hot in that movie. Did you like him in Meet Joe Black?
I didn't see that.
Oh, boy, did you drop something?
That was so close.
Very close,
It was
though.
thank God it's empty. I just typically don't enjoy him. Like, I didn't like California. I saw that. I thought it was not good.
See, if he hadn't done, like, I think it's because he did movies like Meet Joe Black and
7 years in Tibet.
7 Years in Tibet. And what's the other one with the bridge? Bridges of Madison County.
That's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, he didn't do Bridges of Madison County.
Oh, well, he did something that
Bridge
I
over the
confused.
River Kwai. Oh, the bridge. It was a dentist movie.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was about teeth. You're right. You're
Did
right.
he do Benjamin Button?
He did Benjamin Button. But, like, all the romance pre-boy movies that he's done.
Yeah, I think that hurt him.
Yeah. Because in reality, if you just
Great actor.
if you just take the cool shit that he's done lots of cool shit.
I mean, all my favorite scenes of this movie are his.
Plus, how great does he look when he's eating?
I didn't love him in fucking
great.
Fight Club.
What?
I didn't love him in Fight Club. It was okay. It wasn't bad.
Even Troy thinks you're an
Get
asshole.
the fuck
And
out
Troy's
of
seen
here.
like 2
Sorry.
movies.
I just didn't.
Yeah, that's one of the 7 movies that
I
Troy
get
has
it.
seen. Troy doesn't like movies except for the 7 that he's seen, correct?
That's correct. But I am excited to see Once Upon a Time in
So it's
Hollywood.
going to be 8.
I'm going to see it this Thursday.
Are you gonna
I
do
didn't like
drugs
him
before?
in 7. I didn't like him in 12 Monkeys.
Drugs before the movie?
You're crazy.
Most likely.
I would think so.
Inedible.
You didn't like him in 7?
No,
I thought he was great in 7.
and I'm glad. I didn't.
You really tossed your feelings away.
Yeah, I just never enjoyed it.
Oh, Legends of the Fall was what I was thinking of instead of Bridges of Madison County. Same shit.
True Romance he was fine in. He's such a small
It's
part.
great in True Romance.
Yeah. Fight Club. What about, I like him in the Oceans movies.
Yeah.
He's fun. Those are fun
I've
movies.
never seen one.
They're great. You should see the all women's one. It's the best one.
Is that where you would start?
I would start with Oceans, what do they call it?
I think
11?
it's just Ocean's 11.
Oh, with the chicks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they call it, weren't there only 9 of them though or something like that? Wasn't that the thing?
Oh, I
don't-
didn't see it.
Whatever one had Rihanna in it. That's the one that I would go see. It was
I'll see
great.
it, though.
Yeah. He's great in
Mr.
Moneyball.
How
You
was
like him?
I don't remember that. I don't remember in that.
No.
How was Mr. and Mrs. Smith? That looks like a pile of shit.
I'm not going to go watch that.
Oh,
He
was that
ruined
the
his
one with
marriage
Angelina
over
Jolie?
it. Yeah.
Isn't that where he met her or no?
Yeah. Goddamn homewrecker, this Angelina Jolie.
Was he with Jennifer Aniston before that?
He
Yeah.
was.
Oh, okay.
That's
She
what
didn't want to have
ruined their marriage.
babies. And then he made the huge mistake of hooking up with Angelina Jolie. Now he's got to deal with 19 kids and he can't even smoke weed without his wife getting upset.
Which, by the way, Jennifer Aniston is the subject of Ian Halpern's new book.
Oh my God.
Oh my God! What do you mean?
Just about how she...
Does he like her?
I don't know. You know what? We'll have him in to discuss it when it comes out.
We should. I don't know why he needs to. Maybe it's how she came up with the Rachel hairstyle.
Oh, is it all about the hair?
I'd be interested.
And the Rolling Stone cover?
Yeah.
Does he sell a lot of books, Ian?
Ian, yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he's been on the bestseller list.
Really?
New York Times, yes.
Which other one could you mean?
Okay.
Fucking the Pahrump Nevada bestseller list. We know.
Very successful.
Let's go to Miguel in Los Angeles. What's up, Miguel?
Hey, Sam.
What's up? Yeah, buddy.
I like you, man. I like you, man, but I really can't take the opinions of a movie cook seriously, especially when he forgets his passport.
We're past that. We're
That's
not,
right.
We're past that.
You're right.
We're past
Sam's
it.
a
Thank you,
goddamn
Miguel.
fool.
Everywhere we went in Montreal, by the way, with these nudniks, any social place we went to, of course. Oh man, on the way here, Sam's passport. I said, we're done talking about that. We're past that. That's over. That's neither here nor there.
That was a biggie.
Yeah, I remember.
I like that you forgot your passport. I just wish you were at the border.
Oh, that would have been tough.
I would've been-
And he
let
didn't
you-
even look at it before giving it to the guy.
No, he just hands it to the guy.
It's like this is
the
a
guy's
picture.
like, oh, you've aged a lot. Oh no.
Yeah, this is a picture of a baby.
You'd have to get out. The guys have to get out there and call an Uber to the border
No, they wouldn't.
or cab.
They,
Yeah,
they
they
were.
were.
No, they'd be coming back with me. Both
Hell
of them.
no.
Both of
Hell
them.
no.
Both of them. Plus, Ubers don't come to the border.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, because I'm sure it's happened before.
Sure.
And there's
No,
probably
no.
a bus. I'm saying there's probably a bus that you can get that goes through. That they'll hop on. That you can hop on or something. There's got to be a the way to get out of there.
If you can't get through
What do
the
you mean? They
border,
just turn you around.
yeah.
No. But I mean, there's probably been people where someone's in the car and someone else can't get through. So what do?
You
One
go
can
back.
through,
We're
one
the
can't.
crew.
No, not the crew. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, they don't have like a bus that
A border
takes you
bus?
to the nearest like exit or anything.
Of course they do.
No, but there's buses that go through.
Yes, but you can't just get on there.
At the border. Is it a bus stop / border?
60 miles.
No, it's not. It's not that far. From Montreal to the fucking border is
No,
not
it's like-
60
yeah.
miles. No way. It's probably
It's like
30.
There's an exit like 5 minutes away. You just
Yeah.
go to the duty-free shop.
Ew.
Just wait for.
It's duty free. There's no duty.
It's great. So I point to my dick.
Not always. Corey in Rockaway.
Hey, no, it's Corey from Rockland.
Oh.
Okay, Corey from Rockland.
Yes.
Yeah.
The wrong Corey.
No, I was actually going to say about the Tarantino movie. Yeah, the feet at one point it got too constant. It was just like, all right, enough. But since we already spoke about that, the hot part of the movie was when the chick said, "Hey, you want me to suck your cock while you're driving?"
That's true. That was a hot line of dialogue. But I don't know. I feel when I see all these feet in the movie, I actually feel kind of good for Quentin. I go, good for you, Quentin.
Yep.
You do your thing.
Enjoy them.
You do your thing. There's something about Quentin Tarantino's indulgence that at this point I go, do your thing, Quentin. Get up there and do your thing.
He's like, look, I got 2 more movies left. I'm going to put feet in them.
Right. You know, yeah, and especially I get so happy when I see a movie like this in theaters because there's so few of them left. Like there are so many cartoons and superhero movies that are taking up all the real estate in theaters that it becomes very difficult. You have to be a Quentin Tarantino or come out with something crazy like Midsummer to get something into a theater that there's actually something to, that somebody actually wrote and made, that it's not, a company all coming together and just putting out this product. It's a thing that somebody made.
Yeah, and that's why I know Jim doesn't like it, but Baby Driver was such a good thing for the movie industry because it was just like
it's
a Tarantino movie. It's an R-rated genre movie that's not based on anything. It's an original story, and the fact that it was so successful is good.
But it was not like Tarantino. It was only like the Tarantino movie in the fact that it was on film and it was put in theaters and people watched it. Pile of shit. Fuck him and his tinnitus.
He had tinnitus, Jeff.
Oh, Kevin Spacey's a menacing character. Shut up.
Well, who would have thought he actually, I wouldn't cross him.
It's a great movie.
He has tinnitus.
Horrifying.
Not that many people have.
Predictable.
You didn't know he had tinnitus.
I did
You
not.
didn't see that coming.
And you didn't know the guy who he lived with in the house was blind.
Oh, that was such a nice moment.
Right.
So helpful. Good boy. Give him a redeeming quality.
And it created
Hollywood 101.
It created a vulnerability for him, more
That's
importantly.
important. Yeah, someplace they can get him.
That's right. That's how they got him, too. But Travis is right. That was a thing that a guy made.
Yeah. When those movies are successful, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I like when it's a thing that a person
You say it was so
made.
bad that it was never a story before. It was just, how could it be? Vroom. It was probably a short story about a 9-year-old called Vroom.
All right.
It's an adaptation.
Yes.
How dare you? You know what really bothers me? The Jim's Baby Driver reviews, they've turned a lot of people on the movie.
They really have.
Because people go like, you know what?
It is douchey.
Jim's right.
I'll get tweets every now and then saying that Jim was right.
Yeah, I am right.
I will.
He records everything and he puts it to music. Does he? Another interesting quality.
I'll watch it.
But no, I was only recording the conversation to make a song out of it.
You know how like football players have to take the field with like laser focus, play like a champion, play like a champion. The minute anything in their head goes wrong, the whole game is fucked. They can't get out of that zone. That's how I have to watch Baby Driver. I can't think about anything else because there have been times where I'll turn the movie on and one of your criticisms will pop in my head and I'll just go, oh man, and I'll have to turn it off. Yeah. I'll have to pick a different movie.
Stinks.
It
fucking stinks.
He'll put his headphones on and he'll go like doon 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 doon, doon and I'll go,
yeah. Wow, man, he's gonna ride fast.
Yeah, I go, oh man, Jim's in there.
Oh, they hop in. Yuck.
I try to get Travis back in my head.
Come on, the opening scene of that movie is fucking amazing.
I thought it was when I saw it, and then
it is.
No,
okay,
it's not.
All right, it is.
It's not.
It is. It is.
It's the
because you're wrong about Halloween. You're wrong about Child's Play.
No, I'm not.
You're wrong about Annabelle. You're wrong about Crash.
I'll take Annabelle. Crash, I know I'm right about.
Don't bring up Crash.
Yeah, you can't. It's an unwinnable argument.
It's a point of
It won
contention.
Best Picture. Everyone thought it was whatever it was, and it won Best Picture.
To be fair, it has become.
It did win.
It has become known as the worst Best Picture winner of all time.
There are people that say that, but they're wrong.
Oh, okay.
And every time I see Hollywood do something wrong, I'm like, "Say, Crash did that right."
Oh my God, that's terrible. Mac in North Carolina.
Mac.
Well, hey, what's going on, Jimmy and Sam?
What's up, bud?
Long-time listeners, man.
Thank you.
I just had a quick question for Jim. I wanted to know, have you ever seen Burn After Reading? Because Brad Pitt gets shot in the face by George in the closet.
What do you got?
Oh, no, I have not seen that.
That's out there now. By the way, Burn After Reading.
I never heard of it.
Incredible.
So
it is.
good.
I will say this. Thank you very much, Mac.
Thank you. I never
Burn
saw
After Reading is the what's it called, brothers?
Coen Brothers.
The Coen Brothers' most underrated movie by a mile.
I've never seen that.
It is so good, and it deserves to be on more Coen Brothers' best movies lists.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It's $5 right now on iTunes.
If I don't own it already, it's mine today. It is
Great movie. I had
so
never
good.
seen it until you started. You just wouldn't shut up about it.
No, it inspired me to write a memoir.
My memoir. It's a great movie. Brad Pitt's great.
I mean, just
Frances
like
McDormand's great.
She's always great.
John Malkovich is incredible.
John Malkovich is incredible.
John
That's a good cast.
Malkovich plays this like retired CIA guy, and he's trying to write his book, and he keeps calling it, even though he's not French,
memoirs.
he keeps calling it his memoir.
That's very funny.
And his wife just keeps yelling at him about how nobody wants to hear his story. Nobody cares.
Who's his wife?
I don't remember who plays his wife. It's been so
Yeah, I don't
long.
recall. George Clooney's great in it.
And I can't, dude.
It's one of the greatest reveals.
It's such. George Clooney is working on something in the basement. And I want to tell you what it is because I feel like it'll sell you on the movie.
No, don't tell him. Such a great
Dude,
reveal.
it is one of the great film reveals of all time.
Our intern's in here cracking up.
When you find...
Because he's seen it.
Wyatt's seen it?
Yep.
He loves it?
Yep.
When you find out what George Clooney is building in his basement, it's one of the great things that the Coen brothers have ever done.
Tilda Swinton, J.K.
It's a great movie.
Simmons, wow.
I think that it has more rewatchability than No Country for Old Men.
Yep. I would agree with that.
I don't know if I can flat out say it's a better movie, but I can say it's got more rewatchability. And Brad Pitt's incredible in it.
Yeah.
He's so goddamn funny in it. He's not cool in it.
All right.
I like No Country, but yeah. Yeah, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's a dramedy.
Yeah. No Country for Old Men.
I call it a dark
It was
comedy.
very good.
I would call it a dark comedy.
I would rather watch this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's hilarious.
Killing people with an air gun is so stupid, but it was interesting.
It was a different take.
It was a different take,
Yeah.
and that's why it was fun.
Right.
But it was shit.
Why is it shit?
Get a silencer.
It's not shit. 30 seconds ago, he said it was a good movie.
No, but I enjoyed that. But I mean, when I look at it realistically, it's nonsense. Some fucking guy with a dumb hipster hairdo killing people with a fucking air gun
He had
through
a
a
bob.
door. Stop.
Yeah, but it's his calling card.
Exactly. No one has a calling card anymore. Just shoot
Wet
someone.
Bandits do.
Throw the gun out.
I thought they were the Sticky Bandits.
It's the Wet Bandits.
Oh, we're the Sticky Bandits.
I was watching that last night.
Home Alone 1?
Yep. It was on TV.
Ugh.
Because you
What?
were home alone.
Not last night.
Oh, okay.
You watched the film Home Alone with commercials?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing?
What a creep.
I was unwinding on a Sunday night.
For a week, it was homo alone.
You know, Travis, I've been enjoying this conversation with you, but I'm starting to fear that you're an asshole.
What?
If you're sitting at home watching Home Alone with commercials on a Sunday night,
It was 9:15. We didn't have enough time to like start watching something.
had
me
your
and my
kid
wife.
gone to bed yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Home Alone.
Bar Rescue was on.
You know what? I was watching Bar Rescue earlier in the day. My wife asked me if a certain episode had aired yet, and I said, no, it has not.
Old clumsy old man Norton.
No, that was a fresh one.
Oh, we are ready to gift, boys.
Wait, hold on. We got.
There was silence.
Oh my God, that was not the sounds of construction. Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
spilled my coffee.
what you just heard
Can somebody come in with a towel?
was this. Everybody's just enjoying it too much to come in and help.
No, I don't want it to leak through the floor, though.
Why? Because it would get the
wires, yeah, there's wires.
The stupid construction workers all coffee wet.
Oh, that's a great point.
What you just heard was the sound of Jim Norton taking a brand spanking new, fresh cup of cold brew and just having it slip out of his little bird fingers.
No, my elbow hit the straw. And by the way, here's what happened. It fell and it landed, and there was a nanosecond where it stayed closed, and I looked at it, and then it opened. I saw it. There's not a lot of cold brew left.
And by the way, your elbow hit the straw of your empty one before, and he did not think to move the cup.
No, he put the new one in the same spot that his elbow hit.
Yeah.
I like
Lightning
that.
won't strike twice.
That you looked down and you went, oh, good, and your cup just looked at you and went, fuck
Dude,
you, and opened.
it hit, and for a half second, I almost picked it up, and I didn't react fast enough.
Oh, you look so sad. The photo that Troy just posted, you look so sad just looking down at your cold brew. Like, oh, that was supposed to be mine. If you go to Jim and Sam Show on Twitter, you can see the photo. We'll put it on Instagram too, because the world should see it. Oh. You're just looking down at a puddle with ice in it, almost like a loved one has passed away. Like, oh, that was my coffee.
That is such a puddle.
I think people should Photoshop different things in the spot of that puddle. Just Jim looking forlorn.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was... It's a big puddle, isn't it, Travis?
That's a lot of coffee.
It's huge. You know what it looks like?
What does it look like?
It looks like one of those puddles in the new season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, it does. But slightly bigger.
Can I have another one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jim, was it, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the whole cold brew?
0 sips taken. That was a no sip taken.
And you just spilled it all over the floor.
Yep.
all over the floor. Look at it. The ice is still... You know how you could tell it was a brand new cold brew? No melted ice.
No.
Ice is right there, sitting on the top of a big, dark coffee puddle. Isn't that great?
Thank you, Rob.
Isn't that fantastic?
Felt like slow-mo.
We had a
Watch
false...
it slowly.
You hear it thud when it hit the ground?
Oh, yes, I did.
Thank you.
Now, Rob, when we're doing our edits for the video, this is going to be very, very important. First of all, obviously, a nice GIF is in order.
Of course.
Second of all, if there are any stills of Jim reacting, I don't know what his face looked like, but maybe something like that.
Maybe a little slow-mo?
I don't know why that didn't work. Yes, maybe a little slow-mo. But I would also consider editing in the clip of Jim dropping the empty cup.
It didn't fall the first time.
Exactly.
You caught it.
You caught it, like dropping the cup that didn't spill.
I'll have to put it over there from now on. I don't usually spill things.
No,
I
not
have a
usually.
pretty good track record.
But if you put in, maybe you even do it. We're talking about Tarantino. Maybe you even do it Tarantino style, where you play the clip of the coffee being spilled, and then a black screen comes up and it says earlier that day, and then you see him almost spilling. And then you could put another black screen, and then you replay the coffee spilling.
Yeah.
Does that sound like it could be kind of good?
Yeah.
It does, right?
What a fool.
Oh, man.
I'm a fool.
That sounds great. We may even want to release the footage of that spill to the audience, and they could make their own fan cuts.
No, because they're probably gonna make me look stupid.
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
And then when you pick your garbage back up and put it on the table, like the straw or whatever, you accidentally hit the "I'm a little bit rock and roll" drop.
I did.
Just to add insult to injury, a little Donnie and Marie.
What a great Monday morning.
What a great Monday morning. That is a very good omen for this week.
By the way, I'm heading out the 9th and the 10th. I'm going to be in Columbus, Ohio of August, and then the 16th, 17th, I'll be in Timonium, Maryland, and the new Chip podcast is up, episode 113. It's live from Montreal, and it was fun. It was with me, Sam, Voss, Bobby Kelly, and it went really well. It was very silly. It was a very silly hour.
It was fun.
And I'm putting a new Chip animation up this week, too, a really good one.
That's great. All right, stay tuned. We're going to be right back, folks.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton and Sam Robert. And now, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts return.
That's a poll. Welcome back.
By the way, whoever does the music for Tarantino, there's nobody better in movies.
I think I was always under the impression
own?
that Tarantino picks his own music.
Well, then there's nobody who does that better than Tarantino.
You know, we were talking about movies. Jim and Sam, of course. Happy Monday, everybody. We were talking about movies before the break. I went to see the Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was tremendous. But I had to pay full price for the ticket. You know why?
Because it's a new movie.
Well, I was not able to sign up for a Movie Pass subscription.
Why?
Unfortunately,
are they having issues?
Due to technical difficulties, they've closed their service for the time being, but they've announced that they'll be back after the summer.
After the summer, well, yeah, when all the blockbuster movies are done, when people are not off.
Yes, you know how Sirius insists on doing loud construction only during the morning shows. Movie Pass has decided that, if you go to MoviePass.com, you could try to sign up, Troy. Try to sign up for a Movie Pass account. Okay. Unfortunately, they're trying to make the service even better. So the service will be
big
even better.
Big changes are coming
in the fall.
God, they fucking stink.
So their new plan is just to shut down for the summer. Just close doors for the summer. Movie Pass is, of course, the company that we've been keeping tabs on for a long time now. It's just one of the most hilarious stories. They are all theaters now, by the way, are copying their model with a price point that they can actually afford to do and are really successful with it. But Movie Pass, their model was, it started as $50 a month for unlimited movies at all theaters. And the way their service would work was they would send you a debit card with the Movie Pass logo on it. You would order your tickets through their website. They would pay for the tickets using the debit card that they gave you. You would pick up your tickets at the theater using said debit card, right, which is how you just pay them the $50 a month and you get it. They decided they wanted the guy who used to run Netflix came over to MoviePass. He said,
was this after it was already a disaster or no?
No, it was still $50 a month. He said, it's not about getting money. It's about getting subscribers. We need people to sign up for this. So they slash their price and they go from $50 a month to $10 a month for unlimited movies that they are paying for. So it's not like when AMC's monthly thing is $23 a month. But at the end of the day, you can only use it at AMC theaters. They're still making money off all your concessions. They're still, getting a loyal customer out of you. Your odds are a good portion of the audience think that they go to more than one movie a month and they don't. So they end up, coming out pretty good on it.
That's probably why they did that. They probably did polls on how many movies a month people see, and they realized...
I have it, and I know for a fact that as a family, we've gone to more movies, which means that I'm buying more tickets for my daughter.
Right.
Which means that technically I'm probably spending more than I normally would.
And concessions, because concessions is where they make their big money anyway.
Yep.
So, yeah, the concessions are it. Now, MoviePass makes no money off concessions. And they have to pay full price for the tickets.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
At the end of the day, AMC is not paying $13 a movie ticket for the tickets that you use. They're paying whatever their wholesale cost is for the movie ticket. Right? They they make a profit on each ticket sold.
And they've got almost like 1 million subscribers now.
Right. So they're making $23 million a month.
Do you think MoviePass is like, that could be ours?
We did it wrong. So MoviePass, they went through a lot of changes over the past several months. Unfortunately, people said, I don't see how this will last. And the CEO said, you just wait. And then a couple months later, they were worried about bankruptcy. Their servers...
they were opting people in again?
Yeah, they were opting people in. Their servers went down. People tried to cancel their subscriptions. They just kept getting billed. They stopped offering certain movies. So instead of just being like, you can go see any movie, it was, you can go see any movie as long as it's been in theaters for over 3 weeks and it's playing on Sunday afternoon.
And it's 2 of these.
Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. And so everybody started leaving, but they made it so that you couldn't leave. They would just keep charging after. And their newest thing now.
Can you move that over, Troy? Sorry, Sam. I want to be able to read it.
Well, now I think for a while now, you've had to pay for the full year.
Right. You're right. You pay for the full year in advance. They tried that. And now the new thing is that they have decided to make it so that they've shut down for the summer.
No, buddy, pull the window over. I can't read it. Is there a way to move that over so that, no, okay. I just can't read it on the screen.
What do you mean?
Because starting the left part, it looks like it's cut off a little bit, so I'm trying to read it.
Weird, it's not cut off.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not like that. That's weird that it's like that on the
screen.
On the screen. I totally see what you're saying. There you go. That was smart, Troy.
Thank you.
So yeah, it said, but
wow.
There was an article that came out earlier this month that said this could be the end of MoviePass, but they've had that article every other month.
But the idea that they're shutting down during the busiest movie time of the year is so funny. Like, what dopes?
I just love that they won't quit.
No.
They will not shut their doors. They're like, don't worry. When we come back in October, after all the movies are out, you know when they're going to come back? 2 weeks after It Part 2 comes out. It Part 2 is coming out September 6th. That would be the end of summer movie season. That's going to be the last big movie. That's even late.
That's not even a summer movie. September is not.
September 6th, but it'll be the last big movie of the summer. They're extending it. You know what I'm saying? Like usually by September 6th, that's Labor Day weekend, they're kind of done.
I want to write a movie for the summer for this year.
I don't know if you'll have it out by this year, to tell you the truth.
I'm going to start writing it soon.
Oh, okay.
I think if I can finish it by the first week of August, get it shot now by the second week of August, we got 2 weeks of summer left.
So you're going to write it. The first week of August is this week.
Yeah, I just got to start. I got to come up with something.
Okay, so you'll have it done by Sunday. You shoot it next week?
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah,
if we can get a crew or something.
That's the goal.
And have it out by the end of next week.
Okay, no, that could be really smart. That could be really, really smart. But yeah, so unfortunately, MoviePass subscribers, you won't be able to see summer movies.
What if I want to see Hobbs and Shaw this weekend?
You'll have to pay either full price or join one of the other services.
Shit.
Is that a big summer movie?
Oh my God.
Hobbs and Shaw? Hell yeah, it's a spinoff of the Fast and the Furious franchise. It's got The Rock and Jason Statham and Roman Reigns. Get the hell out of here.
And also they have, what's his name? Vin Diesel?
I wish we had The Rock in studio because I was thinking about this yesterday. All I want to do is interview The Rock and say, just tell me, Dwayne, just tell me the process. How do you go in to a film franchise? He didn't come in until part 5, okay?
Wow.
They made 5 Fast and Furious movies when he came in. How do you walk in at part 5 and just up and steal another man's movie franchise like that?
Now, the thing is this. How did he get rights to use the name Hobbs and Shaw? I guess that they knew.
It's not rights. This is a Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah, it's not The Rock's movie.
Yeah.
The Fast and Furious people were like, we got to make a movie with just you.
Oh, I see. And so they just didn't have Vin Diesel. You know how pissed he must be?
Yeah, I mean, the official name of the movie is Fast and Furious Presents
Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah. And let's see.
Stole that franchise.
I'm looking
right
at the poster right now. See The Rock.
Chris Morgan. Oh my God, the Bagel Boss, fucking one of the writers.
That's right.
A little guy beats up a bunch of big guys.
I see The Rock. I see Jason Statham. I see Idris Elba.
Is what's his name a producer on it all? Vin Diesel. Does he have any stake in it? Is he an exec producer, a producer?
He's not the director.
Does his name go on in it all?
Let's see. I'm looking at the cast right now. I see John Tull. I see Joe Anoa'i, which is the real name of Roman Reigns. It's cool, though, that, you know what also you know? So Roman Reigns, WWE guy. He's The Rock's cousin.
Is he in real life?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's never been in a movie before. So clearly The Rock was like, hey, cousin, Roman Reigns, you want to be in this movie? Like, The Rock had the pull to get him in.
Yeah.
Do you think The Rock could have gotten Vin Diesel in this movie if he wanted to?
Yeah.
Do you think he made the choice not to?
Boy, they really are furious. Vin Diesel. Why would you be a dick to the? Why would you be a dick to The Rock?
They're all so
I didn't
fast.
mean that. I actually didn't even mean that. I say he must be so furious. It's like, why would you piss off the biggest movie star in Hollywood?
I mean, this all started.
He's bigger than you, Vin.
This all started when The Rock was filming one of the Fast and the Furious movies, and he puts out an Instagram post talking about jabronis and Rudy Poos on the set of Fast and the Furious, and everybody's like, who's the Rudy Poo? Who's the Rudy Poo?
But this is after Paul Walker died, too.
After Paul Walker
hurts the
died.
franchise.
Yep, and then it turned out it was Vin Diesel. The Rock has absolutely confirmed that it was Vin Diesel. He has made absolutely no secret that the Rudy Poo he was referring to was 100% Vin Diesel. And now he's got Hobbs and Shaw. It's going to be a giant movie this summer.
It's going to be a new franchise.
They're not even going to do Fast and Furious anymore. Why would they?
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
this was moved up ahead of the new Fast and Furious because they wanted to get this out first.
But that's what I'm saying. Like long term, do you think that after the next Fast and Furious movie, they'll just stop Fast and the Furious and just do Hobbs and Shaw?
Oh, sure. Well, I don't know. John Cena's going to be in the new Fast and Furious.
That's fucking awesome.
Is Vin Diesel?
Oh yeah. That's where he gets to shine.
Oh, is The Rock?
I don't think he is.
The Rock's like, I'd prefer to have my own movie, please.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be in it.
And Vin Diesel's like, what if you just call this Joe, whatever his name is in the movie? I don't even remember what Vin Diesel's character name is. And they're like, no, we'll just call it Fast and Furious. I wonder if Vin Diesel is worried about them bringing John Cena in. You know what happened the last time you brought in an ex-WWE guy? He stole the franchise from me.
Do you think he's mad about Hobbs and Shaw?
Furious.
Unless he gets a piece of it. I would like to know how much power he has. He's been in all of them, right, Vin Diesel?
Except for Tokyo Drift, the finest of the franchise.
Why wasn't he in that?
Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift was the season of the witch of the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Why wasn't he in that?
They decided to go with an all-new cast. They took the Fast and Furious concept and they moved it to a whole new cast. It was an entirely
no Paul Walker,
Asian cast.
Okay.
It's different. And they decided after Tokyo Drift to go with the original group that people cared more about.
So
I don't know anybody in this movie.
Since Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's had producer credits on all the Fast and Furious movies.
So what about Fast and Furious Presents?
No.
Oh, no! No!
Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham have producer credits.
No!
This is on that level, you have to be a producer or you won't do it.
They took it from him.
Yeah, he's not.
The Rock was like, hey, Jason Statham.
He's a producer on the movie that they're filming now.
No, but that's
Fast and Furious 9.
Who is?
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
He'll be a producer on the 10th one.
Yeah.
Is Handsome Rob in there?
Vin Diesel is set.
I want to ask Handsome Rob which movie he's more excited about. Because Handsome Rob is like me. He's a giant fan of the Fast and the Furious franchise. Which is really an absurd thing to be a fan of.
Is he a dick, Vin Diesel?
Rock doesn't like him not one bit.
No, I like
now.
Rock,
I've heard he's a nice man. I know Maria Menounos is good friends with him, and
Vin Diesel?
she adores him. So
Rob loves all the Vin Diesel franchises.
Well,
what are the other ones?
Here's my thought on Vin Diesel.
Triple X. Yeah, Rob tried to get me into Triple X.
Here's the first one's awesome.
First one's great.
It's great. But here's my thought on Vin Diesel. There's a period of time when Vin Diesel wanted people to take him seriously. People forget he had a drop off, okay?
Like when he did The Pacifier?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
That movie sucked.
Oh.
Joke.
So Vin Diesel. Little joke. So Vin Diesel, I think, for a period of time, wanted to move beyond being an action hero and wanted to go the Arnold Schwarzenegger route. He refused Triple X Part 2. He wouldn't do it.
That's right. That's when Ice Cube came in.
Came in and starred in it.
How was he?
I mean, Ice Cube is not exactly like ripped to shreds action star guy. It's, Ice Cube is more the...
We got to go in. Like
right.
All those rappers start yelling, yeah.
Ice Cube is the guy with the gun. You know what I mean? He's not using his hands so much.
Rob talks about Triple X movies like we talk about Tarantino movies.
I love it.
The first Triple X is a very, very good film.
It's awesome.
Do you think Rob likes the Riddick franchise?
Chronicles of Riddick? Of course.
But that's what I mean. But he left all that stuff behind. And when he left all that stuff behind is when The Rock started to kind of drift in, Tokyo drift in.
Oh, yeah.
And become an action star himself. And it wasn't until The Rock became this big star that Vin Diesel was like, wait. And he came back to action movies only to find that The Rock had stolen his crown. Vin Diesel was the man for a hot second.
Sure he was.
In action movies. And then The Rock came in and took the crown away from him, and then he stole the Fast and Furious franchise right out from under his nose.
Yeah, I mean, Vin Diesel has to realize The Rock is The Rock.
He's The Rock.
He came in bigger.
Yeah, and everybody loves him.
Yeah.
Universally.
Do you think if Vin Diesel were like, I'm thinking about running for president, nobody would be sitting there having real conversations where they'd go, I would actually vote for Vin Diesel.
Nah.
Nobody would. But people are actually saying, I'd probably vote for The Rock.
Oh, what am I going to vote for Groot?
Exactly.
I'd vote for The Rock.
Exactly.
I want a president that's been on the Chip podcast.
Okay.
Dude, I can't believe you got that video.
Why? The Rock's a good guy.
He's a fan.
Guys of similar ilk just communicating.
Yeah.
I interviewed The Rock once, and he told me he was a fan of Jim Norton.
Yeah. We haven't even met. It's funny. We're just like celebrity friends.
It's so annoying, isn't it?
Just two men just enjoying each other's work from afar.
Admiring each other from a distance, yet too busy to meet. We'll come together on a project.
What are you more excited about, Rob? The continuation of Fast and the Furious as they head to Part 9?
Fast 9?
Or the beginning of Hobbs and Shaw?
Beginning of Hobbs and Shaw.
It's much better, right?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Because here's the thing. Fast and the Furious has gotten so insane. It started as just a movie about some street racers who worked at a gas station. And, we've gotten to the place now where they're trying to save the world from evil Russians
and nuclear bombs.
They want to blow up
Cypher.
everything, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Charlize
so,
Theron.
It doesn't make sense that the Fast and the Furious people are doing this.
No.
But makes sense that Hobbs and Shaw would do that, right? Hobbs and Shaw have to save the world.
Sure.
So I think that what people are going to do is they're going to watch Hobbs and Shaw and be like, of course Hobbs and Shaw are saving the world. And then Fast and Furious 9 are going to come in and they're going to go, we're saving the world too. And people are going to go, get out of here.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares about you guys? This is old.
I might go see Hobbs and Shaw. Even though it's not a movie I would want to see, but just to support The Rock, and I like Jason Statham.
Are you going to see Fast 9?
And Idris Elba's in it. He's the bad guy. I can't wait.
He's great in everything.
He's awesome.
I may go see that. I miss Stringer
Go
Bell.
see it in IMAX.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. When's it come out?
This
weekend.
You going to see Fast 9?
No, I'm not going to.
No, not Fast 9.
I don't care about that.
No. Yeah, I think...
so Rock did 5, 6, 7, 8. He did 4 of those.
Yep, he did 5, 6, 7, and 8.
5's the best one.
How's the Expendables? Is that still a big
That
franchise?
sucked.
Yeah, it's just old people running around.
Yeah.
Who is that? Schwarzenegger and
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone.
What does that mean that they are expendable? Because they're old.
Right.
Is that kind of what that
Statham
means?
was in that too.
No, yeah, because
Jason Statham is a
He's the
great
best.
action guy, isn't he?
He's awesome.
I love him.
He's the same in every movie. You gotta get it done.
Yeah.
But he
Crank.
does.
You think him and The Rock get along really well?
They get along like they've known each other forever. They're literally best friends.
It would be so much fun to hang out with.
I bet The Rock's wife is like, oh my God, is it Jason again? Like, when do I get my husband back?
Probably because they're both just fucking. They probably both kind of stay in their lane with each other, and like you're an action star and I'm an action star. That's it. They don't have egos. Like they're so different. They don't need to be each other. Like The Rock is The Rock and he's him. They're both
Chicks love both of them.
Do they like Jason Statham?
Oh God damn!
Who doesn't?
And they probably are just. I mean, Rob brings up a great point.
Gently.
You know?
Do you think he could get pussy though?
Jason Statham? Oh my God!
Just as much as he wants.
He's a rugged guy with an accent. He kind of doesn't shave, and he's a nice guy. He's in good shape. Yeah.
Right. He could get vaginas if he were fat. It wouldn't matter. I mean, he's not.
Look at that.
Yeah,
And
he
his-
probably works out a lot. Probably has a trainer.
His bottle cap challenge was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Oh
it.
yeah, you just kicked it.
Just kicked it right off.
It's easy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does do everything well.
He knows ninjutsu.
He does know ninjutsu.
Yeah.
Crank was good.
Crank was
loved
great.
Crank.
None of the movies are any different. It could be
No.
Crank. It could be Fast and Furious. You don't know what you're watching.
The
It's
Meg.
fantastic.
He probably
The
trains.
Meg doesn't matter.
I bet he trains martial arts just to stay in shape for fight scenes.
Of course he does.
He does it for fun. Jason Statham's successful because he knows his lane.
Stays right there.
I've never
right
seen.
there.
What was the one with him and Brad Pitt? It was Snatch.
Oh my
Snatch
God!
is
You've never
great.
seen
Snatch
Snatch?
is great.
That was
Snatch
his
is
first movie.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I
Yeah.
loved it.
That was
he
not
was
his first movie, Rob. You're so stupid.
Oh.
so very stupid.
Lock, Stock, and
Lock, Stock, and
Oh,
Two
that's
Smoking
right.
Barrels,
My bad.
Which
Same
is
director,
so
though.
fucking
Is that good too?
Dude, that holds
Both
up
Guy
so
Ritchie
well.
movies.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're great. I
How
like
many
Lock,
of them
Stock
do you
better
do?
than Snatch, but
Like a lot of things better than Snatch.
okay.
M&M's and cock.
The ending of Lock, Stock is fucking
Yeah, shocker. Travis prefers Barrel to Snatch.
okay. If you put it that way.
The Ghost of Mars.
Yeah. Even
Dialogue
the
in those
Transporter. You ever see the
Yeah,
Transporter?
of
Loved
course.
it.
Same as
My favorite hotel.
It's great.
I bet it is. I'm staying at the Trans. I'm staying.
As a porter.
Jim is staying in the Trans.
So yeah, the one I've never seen a lot of those or any of them actually.
They're all the same.
Yep.
And they're
It's
all
the same
fine.
movie.
Yeah.
Fine, they're great.
They're awesome.
All of
I
them
mean,
are
I don't know
great.
if I'm going to say they're all awesome.
They're great.
I don't think the Meg was great.
It's great.
That
I
was
didn't
not
see
good.
it. The Italian Job, though. The
Italian
remake,
Job?
Oh,
So
how
great.
wonderful
You
is the
kidding?
Italian Job? They're running around. The whole thing is a stupid Mini Cooper infomercial. It's just basically it's all like Mini Cooper funded the entire movie, and they're like, "Look, you can
Did
drive
they?
our car around a house."
Yep. It was great.
Inside a house.
Of course, yeah. They jump in a Mini Cooper and they act like it's a cool car when it's not.
And they drive in the house.
They drive
They
in
go
a
into,
house.
like the subway station too, and everything.
It's such
They
a
just
small
drive
car.
down and
Hallways are wide enough. They can drive around a mansion.
cut through trains.
I gotta
cut
buy
off
some
trains
Jason
and everything.
Statham.
Is it a big house?
It's a very big house.
And they drive a car in it?
Oh yes, they do. A
Just
Mini
doesn't
Cooper.
get through the doors though.
Yes, it
Yes,
does.
it does. It's a Mini Cooper.
It's a double door house.
Mini Cooper.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg's great in it.
Yep. Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron is
She's
great.
so attractive.
She's the
I wanna
hero.
kiss
and
her feet
so does Tarantino.
and Heine.
She's the hero instead of the devious Russian villain in this
Yeah.
in this one.
And Ed Norton was awesome as the villain.
That's right.
He's fabulous.
It's
I
great.
love that Ed Norton is like this amazing actor, but he's still like, yeah, I'll do the Italian Job. Lots of money for me. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
He hasn't done that much lately.
He doesn't do that much to begin with.
I think he's picky about what he
He's
does.
very picky.
Yeah.
Did that shitty Marlon Brando movie.
What was
Yeah.
that? Oh, with De Niro? That
Yeah.
was the job or the
Yeah.
hold on, what was it called? The something
It was such a letdown. Because they
Yeah.
built it up so, like, there was so much hype behind it because it was De
the
Niro. and
heist?
Marlon.
Was that called?
No.
Stone?
No.
No, that was the one
The
when he
Score.
was in jail.
The Score.
The Score, when he acts as a
Terrible.
mentally retarded person.
Yeah.
MRF.
Yes.
Yeah, MRF. yeah.
Charlize Theron.
Yep.
How was Marlon Brando third build? Brando was so fat in that.
You're a big guy.
Yeah. I want to
Oh.
watch that again.
Miguel in Houston
okay.
wants to correct this. What's up, Miguel?
Hey, Sam. Yeah, Vin Diesel was in Tokyo Drift. He
True.
wasn't in Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's right.
I forgot. He did have a small cameo. Yeah, thank you very much, Miguel. Yeah, Too Fast, Too Furious is when, that's the period of time when Vin Diesel thought that he was going to go beyond being an action star. He's like, let me not be typecast in Too Fast, Too Furious. Let me not be typecast in this Triple X sequel. And then The Rock was like, hold my beer. And he jumped right in.
I mean,
right in.
the Fast and Furious franchise is probably one of the best franchises ever.
I would say Fast and Furious universe is better than the Marvel universe.
Is Tyrese
It's
Gibson
up
still
there.
in them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's
on Vin
crucial.
Diesel's side, right?
He is.
As
yeah.
far as like this whole rock thing goes.
Ludacris is one of them.
Ludacris. Luda's in it. He's great in it. He's like he's the comic relief.
I think he came in to promote it that one time when he was in
tech guy.
on K-Rock.
He did. Don't talk about old shit.
Difficult.
Yeah, he did not like.
Luda doesn't like to talk. He said, "Don't talk. We don't talk about old shit." That's all.
Luda should be happy anyone's talking to him at all.
What? You don't talk about old shit. That's all.
Because of Luda.
My people should have told you. We don't talk about old shit.
Throw them bows.
Yeah.
Ludacris is really bummed out, I'll bet, that he didn't get thrown into the Hobbs and Shaw.
Sure. So you
I
get
bet
when you line up on the wrong side.
Yeah, you think that they've clicked on either side? Like there are some Fast and Furious people and
Sure.
some Hobbs and Shaw people.
That's a difficult environment to work in.
And everybody really knows. Like they're like, look, Finn's a good guy. We've been with him the whole time, but clearly Hobbs and Shaw is the way to go.
Hobbs and Shaw looks a lot more fun too.
Yeah, oh, so much more
Is there going to be a lot of action, you think?
Yeah.
Just action.
Dude, there's a GIF of The Rock and Jason Statham fighting Idris Elba, and I just keep watching it over and over.
Keep watching a GIF?
A GIF.
Why?
I'm just like, it's
You wanna-
awesome. I can't
you
wait.
wanna see this?
I cannot
Let me fist
wait.
bump you
I
on that.
love these things.
There you go.
They're so awesome.
It sounds great. I mean, you explaining it that way, it
Let me
does
see
sound
the GIF.
awesome.
You like a pure action movie?
Yeah, they're great.
They're great, right?
They're awesome.
Isn't it great when you know that, cause like you go, like we talked about Tarantino in the first hour of the show, and you're like, I bet that this movie probably took a good year and a half to write. Isn't it great when you watch a movie and you go, I bet they wrote this movie in 30 minutes.
Yep. That's what Tarantino should do. He should have The Rock in his next movie.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Or Jason Statham, and have those guys do a scene, a dialogue scene.
Dialogue heavy.
That is completely the opposite of what they do. Like, that would be so great. They probably wouldn't want to invest the time because they make so much money doing these movies. But that would be really interesting to have them in a Tarantino film.
Or Vin Diesel, right? Or maybe just...
I would say Rock is more of a
maybe we'll do
surprise.
Rock. Yeah. You think Vin Diesel would be bummed out if The Rock showed up in a Tarantino movie?
I told you I sat like 2 seats away from him on a plane. He was reading a script. Like, I think that's Vin Diesel.
But if you had to guess, do you think he'd be bummed out to see The Rock in a Tarantino movie?
Hey, I think he's bummed out to see The Rock doing anything. The Rock works out a lot.
When you said everything,
Anything.
you were right.
Oh yeah, everything.
You were right.
I want to work out in the iron. What's called the Iron Paradise.
Dude, wouldn't that be fun? I want to do that too.
I want to go do a little cardio.
I do too. I don't want to do cardio. I want to lift with The Rock.
Think he has a trainer?
He might have a couple. I think he's got one on retainer.
I would love to see The Rock's, because he has a great Instagram to follow. Like, he has those cheat Sundays where he eats his fucking sushi. He's just fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to know the machine that it is that moves his, like when he has to leave. All right, Rock is shooting here. He goes home for a couple days, then he goes there and shoots. They got to move the gym. They got to get the trail. Like, he has a tremendous operation going.
Will Smith does too. Will Smith has like a 2 or 3 story trailer.
Yes, but The Rock has even more, I think, because of that giant gym he has to go with.
Right, it's like a giant
He's a bigger guy.
truck. Well, yeah, Rock's a big guy.
It's a 2 or 3 story tractor trailer, I'm sure, for Will Smith. It's
Yes.
giant. How can we see? Is there anything that shows Will Smith's movie trailer? Like, not like.
Yeah, there was a video of it like expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was shooting something in New York.
It's a special one that probably.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, it opens up and it.
Yeah, it goes from 1 level to 3.
Wow.
Look at that
That's it,
bad
right?
boy.
And that's his one, right?
Yep. That's Will Smith's.
Wow, $2.5 million. It's 2 stories. Yeah, it's got couches. Boy, is there a roof? In
That's
between
better than the one
stories or
Leo
no?
had in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Much better.
Well, they probably
Remember
didn't
when
have
he
him
went
back then.
Started smashing shit because he was so
Love it.
pissed.
That's a great scene.
I'm never gonna drink again. Fuck it. Oh, god damn it.
I would love to see just the extended, like, they must have shot so much footage for that scene.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Will Smith is the only actor to have 8 films each gross over $100 million.
I get it.
I mean, like, if that's
like
the
Will
trailer
Smith?
you
Love
want,
Will
and you're a,
You do.
Yeah.
You're a big Will Smith
Love
guy.
Will Smith. I, Robot. I Am Legend.
Right.
he's
You like both
basically a
those.
billion-dollar guy.
Yeah,
He's a-
Aladdin was actually his first $1 billion movie, which I was surprised.
Wait,
to hear.
that made $1 billion?
Oh, worldwide.
Oh, I see.
yeah. But that was
Yeah.
the first time he had ever had.
Weren't you really
$1 billion
hoping that
film.
would bomb?
Oh,
It didn't
so
bomb.
much. No, it didn't.
Bomb. It was
People
actually
liked it.
Everybody said it was actually pretty good, and then they said Will Smith was actually great.
Yeah, I'll see it. when
He
it
is
comes out in video.
fucking. If that's the trailer he wants, that's the trailer he gets. Is he a bigger star than The Rock?
No.
Not right.
Not now.
I think overall, lifetime, yes.
Yeah, he's made more money.
But today, no, there's
The
nobody
Rock's
bigger.
more bankable.
There's nobody.
Will
Yeah,
Smith.
The Rock might be. The Rock and Tom Cruise might be the two biggest box office draws.
It's amazing. Tom Cruise is even more amazing because he's been doing it for 30 years.
What Tom Cruise also knows, he's like, how about I just do Mission Impossible movies?
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
have
love
the new
Tom
Top
Cruise,
Gun,
too.
Yeah.
which doesn't
Right.
look good. The trailer looked awful.
What do you
I was
mean?
fine with the trailer.
Oh, stop it.
When they're like, hey, Maverick.
Oh, he flies.
How come you haven't...
That's
how
going to be
come,
amazing in IMAX.
Kelly McGillis was not asked to be in it.
No, she wasn't.
how come you haven't changed positions at all in the last 30 years?
Yeah, that's a plot hole.
Well, I'm sure they'll solve that and not just kind of gloss over it.
Is the old colonel there, whoever it was? Or the boss, the cranky one? Ah, Maverick!
It says Dwayne Johnson is number 39
Of all time.
all time, though.
Who's
Yeah.
number one? I'm going to guess. Number one is going to be...
You can guess it,
Robin
you gotta
Williams
turn
was number
around.
15?
Robin Williams
Sure,
had
he
a
had
nice run, dude.
Major movies.
He had
know, but I
a
didn't
really
know it
good
was that.
run. Don't forget, he
Mrs.
was
Doubtfire, Jumanji.
he was the original genie.
Johnny
yeah,
Depp.
Aladdin.
Scarlett Johansson's the number 9 of all time.
That's
Holy-
probably
Can you believe
because, that's probably because of Marvel movies.
Stanley Tucci's number 8
Stanley Tucci's amazing.
because he's been in everything.
Hunger Games, Transformers, 3.76 billion.
Rocky's
He was
gonna-
great in Feud.
Robert Downey. Oh yeah, okay. Morgan Freeman. Holy shit.
Samuel L.
Actually-
Jackson is number 1. That's
That's
just
right.
because he's been in so many
Yep.
movies, though.
Mhm.
Like, I don't
He's
think
been
that's.
in Marvel movies, Star Wars.
But that's not a fair list because
You think he
most
makes
of the
a
time-
lot of money?
Jurassic Park.
He
Jurassic
does
Park.
well, but most he's not making
Yeah, you're right. Technically, he was in those.
biggest box office of all time.
No, he's not a
because-
draw.
Yeah, he's not a draw.
No, he is. He is. Samuel Jackson is
no, he's
absolutely
not
a draw.
because look at Shaft bombed.
Some movies will bomb. Rock's had a couple of that didn't do as well.
Yeah, but he can't headline a movie that nobody's banking on Samuel Jackson.
Not like The Rock. No.
Yeah.
No, Rock is much more bank. I would say The Rock and Tom Cruise are the top 2 right now.
Yeah.
The Rock might edge him out because he's so cool.
I
And
think
he's
The
got
Rock
that
is, yeah.
that gym on a truck,
No.
and I would love to work out with him too.
No, the gym's not on a truck. The gym is a separate tent.
It's
He
not
might-
on
he
wheels.
He probably has one on wheels for cities.
Oh yeah.
Like, so he can just go in there and do some, but they're probably all mostly machines.
Squats.
Yeah, I'm sure The Rock has a gym that
Gotta do
fucking
squats.
just does some
He's
squats.
got big legs.
Yeah.
But then again, when he's in the city, you know what? When he's in the city, they probably find a gym for him to work out in. That's
think they
probably
clear
when
it
he's
out,
on
though?
location. Yeah, but I saw Will Smith
You
in
think
my
he goes
gym
into like a
once.
Planet Fitness?
Ooh, maybe
It's only
like a
$10 a month.
It's true.
He's probably got that black
The
card.
Rock's
Though.
frugal. He knows where he came from.
You get that black card though, you go to any Planet Fitness.
He probably goes to these gyms before they're open or after they're closed because his schedule is so
Yeah, he's
crazy.
up at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, so he probably goes at 4 a.m. They open the gym for him, do whatever he wants.
You think he does squats, Rob?
Yeah.
Good insight, dude.
Yeah, he probably does.
He's got some squats in him.
I did some squats this week when I was away. My fucking legs hurt.
You still feel them?
Yeah, that's a rough one, man. Squats suck. And lunges.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk working out with The Rock. I want to get rid of my tummy again. Put on like 10, 12 pounds.
I bet The Rock could help you out.
He could.
He wouldn't let you have those cheat days though.
Yeah, he would.
He
Sure
would?
he would. Yeah, he would love to. The Rock would love to eat sushi with me.
You think so?
I'm a good sushi
He'd
companion.
probably eat it with you.
He'd probably be worried about the conversation. Plus,
No, I'm a
you're-
very good sushi conversationalist.
You're more interested these days in sausage than sushi usually.
Wait a minute.
A nice kielbasi.
No, but I'd have a great sushi chat with him. You ever
would?
eaten here? Well, we talk about sushi places. I go, you know which one I want to eat in? I would hit the table like I was just coming up with it, but it would already be pre-planned.
And he'd be sitting there like really interested. Tell me, Jim. I'd love to know.
The one, Jiro. To the subway station in Japan. Obama ate there with the Japanese premier.
Oh, so you've seen Netflix documentaries
I didn't like
too.
the documentary. Bored me.
Yeah. So you also have a Netflix subscription.
I
How
do. Yeah.
interesting.
Pay for it on time.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You think
Is
I would
that auto pay?
You think I would run out of conversation fast?
You would. Yeah. Yeah. Because The Rock, Rock doesn't have to pay for his Netflix. Netflix hooked him up, I'm sure.
Hear that?
A little construction. Rock doesn't have to put up with stuff like that. You think The Rock has his way on movie sets?
I mean, literally, The Rock could say, I want that person killed. On a movie set.
I mean, he got rid of the star of a franchise. He can do anything.
Are you
he
saying
wants.
he killed Paul Walker?
Yeah. Well, no. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't put it past him.
Hashtag The Rock body count.
The Rock can do whatever he fucking wants.
He's the best.
40,000 pounds of workout equipment. They
He
put
can lift
together
it
for
all,
every
too.
movie set. Yeah, he does. He just carries it.
Yeah. You think he walked into Fast and Furious and he's like, Vin, I'd like to have your franchise. Vin Diesel's like, it's not available. It's not for sale. And he's like, oh, no, I won't be buying it.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was not a request.
Yeah, no. It's mine now.
Well, they need him to be shredded, too, so the movie company will pay for it because they need him to be in shape.
Of course, he needs to look like $1 million, you know?
But don't you need Vin Diesel to be in shape, too?
Either
Traveling
way.
carnival gym.
Put a flannel on him, no problem.
You're right.
He's got a lot of time to kill before that next Guardians movie.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put Vin in a hoodie. Doesn't matter. Hey, do we have him recorded saying Groot? Yeah, all right. Vin, we're good this time.
Go down a little lower. I want to read more of this. I'm reading about The Rock's fucking traveling gym. At 5 a.m. he gets up, comes to the Iron Paradise, 40,000 pounds of, a lot of heartache. 40,000 every 5 a.m. Jesus.
I wonder if Vin gets annoyed when he's recording his dialogue for Guardians of the Galaxy when he looks at Batista on set. He's like, all these goddamn wrestlers, all these goddamn WWE guys are coming in and stealing my movies.
And better than him.
I know, everybody's
Batista's way better than he is.
Everybody's coming out of Guardians going like, how great is Drax?
But he's in that movie too?
Yeah, he does the voice of
the tree.
All right, that's an easy gig. That's a great gig.
Yeah.
It's probably not the most high-paying gig on set.
3 words.
You know what? If he's Vin Diesel going in to put his name in, he probably made a lot of money because it's all about getting your name on. Because there's a lot of guys that could do voiceover as well as anyone else is doing it, but it's to get his name on it. So yeah, he probably did make. He probably has a bottom line that he won't go below.
It's like
different than mine.
7,000.
Yeah,
I'll do it for $7,500.
I mean, it's only got 3 words in the movie.
I am
Groot.
That's it.
Tented gym, flags. Wow. Air Force, the Marine Corps. Yeah.
You think they're going to give Fast and Furious to John Cena?
He pees in a bottle during his workouts.
Of course he does. He has to drink it.
They might. I could see that.
No, he does. It says it right there. He pees in a bottle.
No, we're talking about John Cena getting Fast and Furious. You think that's the next move?
Yeah. I mean, John Cena was so good in that movie, The Marine.
All of them,
Is
right?
he a good actor?
John Cena? I mean, he's a good action guy.
He's a great and
He's
a
got
good
big
comedy
muscles.
guy, too.
Yep, he was good in Cock Blockers.
Yeah.
It's actually a good movie.
It was decent. I liked it.
And he was good in it.
Yeah. All of them were.
Vin Diesel's got nothing going on. If you look at his IMDb.
Well, I want to see what I want to see, I never got to see it. Was a Mars action movie starring Chief Jay Strongbow.
That was back before pro wrestlers were in movie shape. Bob Backlund is like, well, I don't know if the role requires it, but I do have the ability to knee walk on command.
Yeah, then you see him like around the fucking ship with the little helmet on.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out, Chief Jay, especially since you're Italian.
Oh, he was.
He was.
Yeah, he's like Laverne DeFazio's father.
Yeah, I think that there is a good. John Cena was good in
Trainwreck.
He was great in Trainwreck.
Yes,
and he is good
Ferdinand?
in the. I didn't see Ferdinand, but he was the lead voiceover guy in it, and he was really good in the Mark Wahlberg Best Friends Stepdaddy
Nights.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
Stepdads, is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, the Will Ferrell, the sequel he was in, and he was great in that. I think he's going to be awesome.
Oh, he's
the
great
new
in
Fast and
Trainwreck?
Furious.
Did you mention that?
Yeah,
Yes, we
he's
did.
robbed it.
So good.
Yeah.
Cockblockers, he was awesome on WrestleMania. We're looking at his IMDb right now. Yeah.
Ooh, he's in the new, I didn't see the new Transformers, but he's in that Bumblebee.
He's the star.
So Vin Diesel has nothing going on?
No, he's got Fast and Furious 9.
No, did John Cena get Suicide Squad too? Vin Diesel would
yeah,
love
I think he's
that.
going to be in Suicide Squad.
Oh, and that's the James Gunn version. That's going to be a
James Gunn
hit.
version. It's going to be great.
Really good.
Vin Diesel would have loved to be in Suicide Squad.
That's all right. He's got Triple X 4.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
jeez, he's back to the movies. he
Then
didn't wanna-
Fast and Furious 10.
Oh, jeez.
Nice. All right.
And then some movie with Riddick.
Oh,
awesome.
no, that's not
I
true.
mean, he's got the same 3
no,
things.
it's not.
over and over.
They're not doing another Riddick.
I hope so.
It's called Furia.
Ooh.
Oh, Furia.
Oh, come on over, Furia. Furia.
Oh no, it really
Oh,
is.
is Furia picking you up? Have a piece of cake and some coffee, Furia. Fucking, did you like that part?
Oh, it's the best.
Furio.
It's
So enamored.
Why
by
don't
him.
you make love to your wife? His dumb hairdo.
You don't like his ponytail?
No, he was good in that, though.
It's great.
He was
Everybody was
good in
great on that show.
Sopranos. But I didn't like how it got so soap opera-ish when she went to Italy.
They got to do something for the families, for the women watching. You know, the
No, they
wives.
don't.
and-
Who was the other one she wanted to fuck? The fucking
priest?
Vic.
Yeah.
No, the priest. All she wanted to do was fuck other men.
Right? Yeah.
She did. Yeah, she really. Well, Tony wasn't giving it to her.
But then again, the father, she didn't really want to fuck. He wanted to fuck her. Carmelo.
Right.
That was an interesting relationship.
Well, he was playing with her a little bit. He was having her fall in love with him, and then he wouldn't make the move. Remember, he didn't make the move. She got pissed at him. She showed him the door.
I think he liked her too, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to make the move. He was getting the emotional high
from a lot of the women.
He loved to flirt with disaster. He's one of those guys that just likes to walk the line, but will never cross it.
And the guys would let him stay over because he was a priest.
Right. And then he pretends he's a good guy, even though, you're not a good guy.
Tony would come in, this is a priest.
Whoa. Like James Gandolfini was back from the dead for a sec.
I know. What a shame. Fuck.
Vic.
He died. God damn.
Vin Diesel really does have Fast and the Furious, XXX Fast and the Furious Riddick.
Avatar 2 he's in?
No, it's rumored.
It probably is. Avengers End. I mean, come on, he's got a tremendous. He just only wants
but those
to
are just because he was Groot in that movie. He was in it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Still. Yeah. He's still in nothing but fucking giant films.
And he has nothing to do with
Infinity War.
Yeah,
but he has he still has a big IMDb.
Here's the issue.
It's not as impressive as The Rock.
That's the issue. You know what it's like, right? Like on the outskirts, looking at comedy, if somebody just looked at you, they'd be like, Jim Norton has a tremendous career. Look at him. He's got this great radio show.
No, they wouldn't.
He gets to hang out with Sam Roberts every day. That's amazing.
Yeah.
He has this great comedy career, right? He headlines. He does all this stuff. But you know that you're looking at other comics going like, I'm doing nothing. Like, look how much stuff they're doing. Vin Diesel is not thinking to himself, oh, that's so cool. I get 2 words in the Avengers movie. 3, I'm sorry. He's sitting there looking at all these goddamn wrestlers coming in and stealing all of his goddamn roles.
But if this is him in a downturn and he's still able to get into these giant films, it's still a good thing. Like, this is not a bad place to hang out for a little while.
I know, but you're talking like his wife. No, it's still good. Like, it's still, you know how he's feeling.
Sure.
The Rock insulted him publicly and then took his movie.
Yep, that's not good.
So it's a rough one.
Yeah. And that was what? That was 7?
I believe that was 7.
Yeah, so I mean, he was already grandfathered into Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers.
Didn't they do 8 together and 9?
Yes.
They did 8 together.
9 is coming out.
They didn't like each other on the...
They didn't like each other on 8. That was a rough one.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
Was it a bad movie?
So 7...
No, it was great.
Yeah. Fast and Furious 7 was when the rumors started coming out that The Rock had problems with somebody.
Furious 7.
I'm sorry, Furious 7.
Yeah.
By Furious 8, that's when everybody found out, oh, The Rock and Vin Diesel hate each other. And then Vin Diesel's like, okay, The Rock wants to run his mouth. Well, guess what? They're not going to be able to do this movie if everybody knows that we hate each other. And then the producers are like, say no more, fam. Don't worry about that. We're going to go ahead and give The Rock his own movie. And Vin's like,
I wonder what started it. Was it that The Rock was getting big and Vin Diesel didn't like it, or was The Rock difficult with him? Like, who started it?
I think didn't Vin just think he was a little bit bigger than he actually is? And
I think
and
so.
He was just rough on set to deal with, and The Rock suffers no fools.
No, and he doesn't like Rudy Poos, and he never has.
What's a Rudy Poo?
It's like a candy ass.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically somebody that's going to end up checked in to the corner of Know Your Old Boulevard and Jabroni Drive. It's the SmackDown Hotel.
Well, go down. Let me see the picture of them together. I mean, The Rock is a more impressive individual than Vin Diesel.
Oh,
Vin
by a
Diesel has a
mile.
weird head.
And by the way,
looks like me from the side, weak chin.
The picture that we're looking at The Rock, when he looks more impressive than Vin Diesel, he's twice as big now. This is before The Rock became a bodybuilder for the movie Pain and
Furious
Gain.
5.
Right. This is before The Rock became a bodybuilder for a movie and just decided to keep all the muscle on forever.
That movie sucked.
No way. That was a great
Pain and
movie.
Gain?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I didn't see it. Why didn't you like it? What's it about?
Wasn't it like the Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
The Rock,
Yeah.
and some other guy? They're all big.
The guy who rapped against Eminem.
Yes.
Captain
Wahlberg,
America.
Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg got huge.
Anthony
Mackie.
And they go and then like robbed somebody.
It's a true story.
Yeah, and it was just awful.
It's incredible where The Rock is now, thinking about how many shitty movies he had.
The Tooth Fairy movie.
Tooth Fairy.
It was a nice
Walking Tall, or
slow
whatever
build.
that movie is.
That movie was
that
great.
bad?
It's not great. It wasn't a box office,
I like that he
sensation.
did that one, though.
But nobody was sitting there saying, this is happening for The Rock.
No.
Like, nobody
No.
said he was the next.
And then
person
one
who
day
would
he
control
said,
Hollywood.
guess what? I'm the next guy. And everybody's like, oh, okay.
We got
You
it.
are.
Yep. Gotcha.
Nope. Sounds good.
Baywatch. That didn't do that well, did it?
No.
That was one of his rare bombs.
That was his first bomb since he became the guy.
Yeah.
And I remember after it came out, he was like, "Yeah, that sucked," but he admitted it sucked, and they moved right on to the next one.
He works a lot.
Oh, Mike, he won't stop.
That's all he does.
He won't stop.
I love him.
I do too. I respect him. He's from flying to China on his private plane, coming back, goes to the gym. All he does is fucking.
I'm glad we can all come together on liking The Rock.
He's the greatest.
Well, I respect his work ethic too.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that the guy he doesn't need to do this, and he just does.
Vin Diesel probably thinks today's show sucks.
Yeah, he's a fan of the show too, Vin Diesel.
He is. He's a big, except for today's show.
Today's show, he's not.
He said today's show was terrible.
Well, original Triple X, best Triple X.
Yeah, but then he left the series,
unfortunately,
and now he's back.
Yeah,
that's tough.
I didn't see the new one.
Well, nobody did.
No.
Why would you?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
why.
it about Triple X?
It's about a spy who can jump off cliffs.
Yuck.
Well, it's about
fucking.
it's about like an ex-con who becomes
Why wouldn't
a spy.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Samuel L. Jackson's in it too.
Yes, of course he is.
What
He's
an
responsible for the
awful-
box office.
I'm so sick of people becoming spies.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's not how it works.
No?
No, a spy is a guy that's probably been there for years.
That's how it worked for.
Oh, Jim would love this. The what do you call it? The slug line? Just like the yeah.
The subtitle.
An extreme sports athlete, Xander Cage.
Yeah.
Xander Cage.
That's what the X stands for.
Is recruited by the government on a special mission.
I
That makes
hate
sense.
the name of these
By
guys.
Gibbons.
Yeah, but he's an extreme sports athlete.
Xander Cage.
Jim, you have to think realistically in terms of films. How else could they explain how this spy could base jump?
Dude,
Xander
awesome part.
Cage.
He's got to be able to base jump in the film.
He takes Dick Hodgkins' car.
She
and
took
then
his
jumps-
lymphoma. I fucking hate his fucking name.
Dude, he created an avalanche and then went snowboarding down it.
Why
and
wouldn't he?
It's so smart.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm stuck on top of this mountain. Oh, I know.
Ricola. And then he goes down the hill.
Yuck. He did create an avalanche.
What a pile of
In
shit.
the beginning, somehow he's on a dirt bike and there's no jump or anything, but he makes it over like a 20-foot fence.
By just lifting the
By just-
handlebars?
Yeah, doing one of those like boom.
I got to give this Triple X a rewatch.
I love it.
Troy, be honest. When I tell you that there's a movie out there where Vin Diesel creates an avalanche and then snowboards down it, sounds awesome, yes?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you like the name Xander Cage?
No.
But what if it's an extreme sports athlete?
Yeah.
What's his name in the fucking Fast and Furious franchise?
Vic DiBitetto?
No, Vic DiBitetto's a
No,
comedian.
it's
It's Vic something. Or something DiBitetto. Something very similar to that. Oh, Dominic Toretto.
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto.
Of course, just another cool guy name.
Well, he ends up saving the world, but at first he was just a petty street racer.
Yeah.
How come none of these guys had an action hero named Larry Trunt? T-R-U silent H-N-T. Larry Trunt.
A Polish action star.
Why not? You know?
How about George Kowalski?
Yeah, why not?
Action star.
Why not?
Yeah. George Triple X Kowalski.
Hey, look, it's Gary Snard. Why not?
You don't want to mess with Snard.
Yeah, they always have cool names. Xander Cage. And why are the convicts? What was he a convict? What did he do?
I did a whole bunch.
Probably some cool. No, what did he do in Triple X? Why was he in jail in the?
I don't remember, but I think he used his extreme sports abilities to help with stunts in his crimes.
Well, yeah, and the first
because he can base jump. Don't forget.
Oh, of course. Probably stole a lot of money. How come none of these guys gets out for doing other stuff? Like he was trading child porn.
That's not. No. That's no good. Yeah,
he's an action star named fucking Larry Trunt who is trading child porn, but he's a really fast runner.
Yeah. Do you guys know that the spy you hired is a sex predator? He's on the watch list? Yeah.
He used to trade child porn.
He's going to solve any crime that's not within 10 miles of a school.
Yeah, he was arrested in a Kinko's.
Yeah. Hey, what if we pull off the heist next to this playground? Larry Trunt can't find us there.
Yeah. And now he did 8 years and now he's out. Ready for action.
That's right. Triple X kids in parentheses.
Oh, Vin Diesel, Asia Argento.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Hey, you know what? I might watch it today.
Triple X?
Yeah.
He can base jump.
Yeah.
And snowboard.
It's awesome. Oh, that's how
you know
he
what's
gets picked
interesting?
up.
I love that like he's an extreme sports athlete, which means he can do all the extreme sports. As if when you're an X Games competitor, you could do all the sports.
Yeah.
Like it's not like if you're a skateboarder at the X Games, like Jason Ellis. He's like one of the all-time skateboarders of extreme sports, right? That means he could do every.
Is he a really good skateboarder?
He's a fantastic skateboarder.
Is he? Okay.
He's one of those guys that did the insane jumps. Like, remember we used to watch those crazy jumps?
Yeah.
That they'd like go down.
big jump.
He would do one of those, yeah. But like,
Big air.
I don't know if he base jumps.
No,
I'm not
steal
sure.
cars, and then like strap a whole bunch of cameras onto the car.
I think he does that too, yeah.
Drive
And then
it-
goes off a cliff.
Yeah,
I think
it
so.
was off a bridge.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
off
he
a
does. I
bridge.
think he does that.
And then when
too.
he's floating down, he's like, "Moral is, don't be a dick."
Right.
'Cause the guy's name was Dick. Get it?
I like that.
Fuck yeah!
In
I like
Triple
that.
X?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Triple X is
be
a
a
great
dick.
movie. I saw it in theaters. I saw that movie in IMAX.
It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
When it
I
came
just
out.
watched the trailer. It didn't look like something I'd be interested in.
Okay, cool. You're not invited into our conversation.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be in the Triple X
There's
conversation.
2 Ivans in it. It's awesome.
Oh, so confusing.
Right?
Although I've got to tell you, you can probably predict Triple X from the trailer. That's one of the few movies that I might blur my rule on.
I don't know.
I might be able to take your opinion on Triple X based only on the trailer. I might be okay with that.
Daddy has to make in the toilet bowl.
All right, well, Daddy, you make in the toilet bowl, and we'll take a break. You want to plug your gigs?
Yeah, the 9th, 10th in Columbus. Going back to the Funny Bone, which I love. And Montreal is amazing, by the way. The show was
Amazing.
great.
If
It
you
sold
haven't-
out the stand-up show, so I appreciate everybody coming. And it was really great. Much better than expected.
If you missed any of our live shows in Montreal, make sure you got the SiriusXM app and listen on demand because they were both all-timers. They were awesome.
And the 16th and 17th, I'm going to be at Magoobies in Baltimore. Another great gig. It's actually in Timonium, but I'll be doing a whole bunch of wire jokes, and I'll be attacking Trump for his attacks on that fine city.
Yeah, let's talk about that when we get back. No clicking. Stay tuned.
We'll be back with more Jim Norton. And now, Jim Norton and Sam Roberts return.
I think Jim's still probably in the bathroom, using the restroom. As I said before the break, make sure that you go and you check out the Montreal live shows that we did. They're on demand right now on the SiriusXM app. We'll have certainly segments on YouTube. We'll probably put that whole last hour or so from the second show up. You know, when we literally had 11 people on the show all at one time, including myself and Jim. And it actually, to me, still sounded good. Like, people weren't trampling over each other. It was great. Pete Holmes came in hot. Everybody was really good. It was myself and Jim. It was Rich Voss. It was Bob Kelly. It was Miss Pat. It was both of the Lucas brothers. It was Pete Holmes. It was, Big J. It was Dan Soder. Everybody you could imagine. All in one spot. I felt looking at the photo like it was a historic moment in comedy. I thought it was great. I thought it was so much fun, and I'm glad that we did it on our show. It's so great. So you're going to Baltimore, Jim.
The 16th, 17th, yeah.
How did you feel about the heat that Donald Trump took over the weekend? Was that he sent out some tweets? Of course, the guy in charge, the governor, I guess, of Baltimore. Is that who it was?
That's the governor? No. He's a
No, it was a
senator or
yeah,
senator,
congressman. Yeah.
yeah, it was his district.
Yeah, representative from Baltimore was insulting the border agents, and so Trump responded by insulting Baltimore. And
called it an infested mess.
He did call it an infested mess. He called it a filthy infested
But of
mess.
course now he's a racist for saying that. Of course.
Here's the thing.
By the way, the people are pointing out, the press is pointing out that a black lawmaker was attacked. Trump just attacked him for the job he was doing in a place that is not in good shape. And
Because
whether or
he
not it
attacked
was-
him first.
What's that?
Because he was talking shit first.
No, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, like it's not like he just woke up and decided.
He
to...
responded to this guy. This is how insane constant charges of racism are. And I'm not saying they're never justified, but he attacks this law. By the way, the media, the same media who's mentioning that this is a black lawmaker and a mostly black play, they failed to mention the racial difference, of course, in the guy who was beaten up outside the hotel in D.C. Did you see that video?
I didn't.
12 guys stomped the one. Oh, right. But again, this is all the press. Trump's a racist now because he attacked this black lawmaker in response to this guy attacking the border patrol agents or what was going on at the border. It's insanity how often that word is used for any attack. To me, race had nothing to do with the fact that he was saying this Democrat sucked and that no human being would want to live there. And they're like, but black people live. He's not insulting black people. He's saying it's not a good place to live, and I'm sure they're not enjoying it either.
I think that the people who are acting like Baltimore does not have issues are totally nuts.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Baltimore is in bad shape.
Terrible shape. And it's still in terrible shape.
They made an entire series about Baltimore. You might remember
walk through the garden.
The opening theme.
Yeah. And the commercials you'd see. Well,
I could bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan.
Right. You might remember that.
That's commercials. It's HBO.
Yeah.
No, they did it before and after the show. I do remember that commercial.
But I watched it on another. I didn't watch it on HBO. I watched only the clean version.
The Hulu broadcast. So I think that the fact that he went after this guy in New Orleans isn't racist. I do think.
New Orleans.
I'm sorry, Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay.
Yeah, I meant Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, Elijah Cummings.
I do think that there is something. I think that. Whether Trump knows it or not, there's something inherent in him. He's got racial bias in him. I do think that if you look at it, he only really says things like filthy and describes it as no human being and shithole. And he uses certain language, whether he's aware of it or not, when he's talking about places primarily populated by people of color. Well, there is a difference.
But the places he's described, I think it was fair. It wasn't like he's describing great places. Describing Baltimore and saying no human being would want to live there. He's saying that it's a fucking dump and no one should have to live there.
No, I get what he's saying.
So I don't know if that's... Cummings is a disgusting rat and rodent infested mess. The worst run and most dangerous anywhere in the United States. I mean, I don't know if it is the worst or if Camden is rougher, but I mean, him attacking this guy and saying you represent a place that is rat infested. I mean, it's fair. Do it, Race.
I think it's what he's saying is actually fair. Like, I don't think that there's any way you could say that Baltimore doesn't have a major crime problem. But I do think that there's a conversation with how he says things and the words that he uses in specific instances. Like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you could find examples where you go like, okay, but I do think that his language changes when he's talking about, like, he almost talks down to and takes the humanity out of places that he thinks are populated by non-European whites.
But doesn't he do that about everything he says? Meaning, like, his language, whenever he's discussing something he's at odds with, it's never good. I mean, the way he talks about other political candidates, the way he talks about Nancy Pelosi, the way he talks about anybody he doesn't like, he talks about in a way that is completely disrespectful.
By the way, I already see there's somebody on the line. I've barely got a sentence out before it says Sam's full of shit on the phone. Like, let's have a conversation first, okay? But I don't think that Trump, like, reserves negative commentary for for minorities. Like, clearly, he lashes out at enemies, right? Anyone that he thinks of as an enemy or anybody that talks shit about him, white, black, brown, whatever, he talks shit back to. I just think that it's it's easy to just jump on and say this man is a racist and he's a white supremacist. Like that's a pretty easy kind of intellectually lazy argument to make. But I do think that there is something to talking about the way he talks about certain people in situations. And I think that it could be something that he was just raised with and he doesn't even realize that he's got these biases. But I think that he talks differently when he attacks people of color.
I would like to
see areas where people of color populate.
I'd like to see well, no, I mean, let him in say. I mean, I understand. I would like to see an example where there's a white area he could have and should have attacked like that, but didn't. Like, you might be right, but I want to see an example where, because, like, you know, again, I love The Wire and I'm going to perform near Baltimore, so I have no, but again, he's right. It's a fucking dump. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I also think that the people who are like, you shouldn't say Baltimore's a dump.
What did he say? Like, Haiti or some other place was a shithole? all right. He's saying what other people want to say but won't. There are times where he's using language a president shouldn't use, but you're going to tell me that fucking other people have talked about Haiti or wherever it was he described and didn't want to say it's a shithole?
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Come on. But I want to see, is there a white area that he's talked about that he used softer language with?
Yeah, or just, language that was more humane. Like, I think somehow he strips out the humanity in those spots, which I think, in my opinion, when I look at it, I go, When you look at it happen a few times, you go, there is some kind of inherent racial bias in the way he says it, not in what he's saying. I'm with you in the sense, for him to point out that if he talks about Chicago being crime-ridden, if he talks about Camden being crime-ridden, if he talks about Baltimore being crime-ridden, any of that stuff, you can't have a problem with him saying that crime-ridden cities are crime-ridden. It just is what it is. I think the conversation is more in the way he describes certain places and doesn't do that for other spots.
But I haven't seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen example, and I can't think of one, maybe there are, but I think that he's such a reactionary person.
Yeah.
That he fucking just fires out. And again, I've seen him say enough things about white lawmakers or this one or that one. They're terrible. They're awful. He uses harsh language to describe almost everything he's at odds with. And he fires out the first thing he thinks comes out of his mouth or it goes on his Twitter. Sometimes it's not harsh. Sometimes it's ridiculous and we laugh at it. And then other times it's, I can't think of examples where, find me examples of where he's talking about white people and using nicer language to describe something equally as fucked up as rat and roach infested or murderous.
The easy one, and I'm not using this as an example, I'm just using it as an example that people would bring up. The easy one is, of course, Charlottesville.
Yeah, good and bad people, which was, again, a terrible description.
And that's going to haunt him forever. And it should haunt him forever. It was one of the worst things.
It was just stupidly
Probably
said,
the worst thing he's ever said.
It was dumb. I knew what he was saying there, too, but it was still completely stupid.
It's there in the language.
Yeah.
There's problematic stuff in there. I just saw something that triggered something that was up on the computer, and I don't remember what it was. But we can, I don't know, go to whatever.
I don't know what to search for. Trump, white people, crime area using nice language.
Yeah, I know it's a hard
tough.
one. I'm just trying to think of.
It's tough to find. I just think
I would need that to put against it to go.
Totally.
Yeah, you're right. He does.
But it's just now. This is multiple instances of him using language that takes out the humanity of people. And he really has only done it, I think, around areas where he's talking about people of color.
But if he's talking about high crime areas and certain areas, and again, I want to know where he's doing it, where he's talked about that white area way too nice, or that crime problem or that murder way too nice. I just want to see where he's done it. If he has, he has. I just want to see it.
Let's go to Jeff in Philly. What's up, Jeff?
GE.
I think, this one is GEOFF.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sam, you live in Westchester, which is the biggest liberal bubble in the country.
Yep.
You've obviously
it isn't, but go on.
Yeah, and I lived there too at one point. But you've obviously missed the fact that Trump said one of his biggest passionate issues is lowering African American unemployment and raising the living standard in the inner cities, and also public safety. So you don't mention that. You just mention the negative side because you're obviously a Democratic voter. You obviously live in a left-wing liberal area.
I mean, Jeff,
which is totally fine,
You're the one jumping to conclusions. We didn't bring up that because we're not talking about that. We're talking about what he tweeted over the weekend and the conversation around specifically that language. I didn't say you're so defensive and ready to come. You were completely defensive. I didn't even say. I said it was intellectually lazy to call him racist.
Sammy Brand Muffins.
Yes.
One second. So all I'm saying is that you're taking a reactionary Democrat position, which is when Trump says anything, they have a propensity to say that he's a racist. This is obviously not a racist comment. And he's also said very, very positive things about the African American community. You have to look at everything as a complete story. You can't just take one comment based on Democratic propaganda and say the guy's a racist. He's obviously not.
One thing he does do, Jeff, that like I found like a little silly, was like when he talks nicely about black people, it's almost like he wants you to know he's doing it. Like,
of course.
And this irritated me. Like when he's talking about the whole ASAP Rocky thing.
What do you mean, of course, Sam?
Which is a weird.
I apologize.
The ASAP Rocky thing is a weird one because then he came out and they wouldn't release ASAP Rocky because I think there's other footage of him maybe doing something first because they're standing very, very firm on it. And he said they're doing a disservice to our fine African American community by not releasing ASAP Rocky. I think that was a little egregious. Like, come on, like a bit gratuitous. Like, what do you mean our fine?
I mean, he's friends with Kanye. Why wouldn't? Like, why is it a problem that he wants to have the guy released?
It's not. No. It's not what I'm saying. It's not. The problem is, it's not that he wants them released. It's that he said in his statement on Twitter that Sweden is doing a disservice to our African American community by not releasing ASAP Rocky. And it was like, come on, dude. What do you like? Then, like, if the guy
a national treasure, why? I mean, why can't you say that it will be beneficial to the African American community? He's an icon in that community. Why
but
not?
He's not doing. But that's not what that's about, Jeff. You know that.
You're nitpicking on the president because it's an easy.
That's not it. I'm actually pretty fair with the president, more than most people in my business. Yeah. And I'm telling you that part. It stood out to me because I'm like, it had nothing to do with what was happening. He's trying to get an American celebrity. Released from a thing that it looks like to me like ASAP Rocky did nothing wrong, but then they're saying no, we have other footage that's like fucking. They have other footage from like closed circuit and all that stuff, so they have a reason for holding him. And I get why Trump went. Hey, he's friends with Kanye. It's a big story. But when he said they're doing a disservice to our African American, no, they just have a fucking celebrity,
Jeff.
That they're holding.
If you can see Democratic propaganda that you were just pointing out. Why can but you see no Republican propaganda. You see no Trump propaganda.
I do. I know. I completely do. And by the way, I voted for Obama. I voted for Clinton. I voted for Gore. It's not like I'm like some crazy right winger. I do see propaganda on both sides, but I'm just commenting on what you were talking about. I mean, obviously, Trump is allowed.
Okay, well then we can comment on what we're talking about, right?
No,
the same way I can comment.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Sam. I mean, obviously, you guys forget the fact that he's a politician now, and he's allowed to pander to people. That's a common thing that politicians do. He's allowed to pander to the African American community.
Yeah, but he also panders to the white supremacists.
I don't know if that's true, Sam. Not every.
I mean, he definitely, bro. I will not,
dude.
You don't think he panders?
Sam.
You won't say that he at least panders to white supremacists?
White supremacists? What? That is like 75 of them in the country of 300 million people.
It's probably more than that, but you don't think that he panders to them?
Come on, dude, have you seen a white supremacist ever? There was 150 in Charlottesville.
I live in a liberal bubble. There's no white supremacists in Westchester.
Upstate New York, dude. Upstate New York.
Well, there's people who are kind of racist. I mean, and there are plenty of racist people, and they get lumped in with white supremacists. Like, white supremacy is something we think of as any people who march and want to burn black people alive. And, like, there's a lot more racist than just that. Like, those are the extreme cases, but a lot of racists are white people that just don't like blacks and don't like Jews. And they're not white supremacists in the sense where they're not running around being physically violent, but they still have real racist.
And it really does. It goes back to a point that you bring up about Patrice a lot, which is Patrice's great.
I didn't say anything about Patrice.
Not you, Jeff. I was talking to Jim on that one.
No, of course.
And it was like my ex-girlfriend getting mad because some girls were allowed in a restaurant, and she walked over and she had to.
I'm gonna hang up on you, Jeff.
All right, Jeff,
I appreciate
take care, man. Good talking to you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. Bye.
All right, buddy. Turn down Tina did nothing wrong. They were being loud.
Okay, so here's okay. This is a great example of you saying like he just
Angela Merkel got mad in a restaurant. That is who she looks like.
He says exactly what comes to mind. This is Turn Down Tina, who became an internet celebrity over the weekend.
I'd fuck her.
Because she got upset in a restaurant, and she said the first thing that came to her mind.
Do we have an uncensored version?
As a matter of fact, Jim, we do.
Let me hear this, because I guess some folks are being allowed, and Tina didn't, she wanted to. Let's hear it.
Right.
Here's the thing.
They're filming her.
What you gotta understand is that you don't know what people going through. Oh, you want to come over here? You want to come? She ain't gonna come over here. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Don't got some real stuff.
Friends that are black, and I love them.
We never said anything about color. We never said. So here's the thing. Let me understand.
You're too loud.
We're too loud.
In your opinion, let me show you my money. It's just as green as yours. Right. Oh, you're so stupid, nigga.
Stupid?
Oh my God. Okay. By the way, you know what the worst?
It just came out.
It did.
It slipped. It just came out. You know what it was? She's really good at slamming the teeth shut before it flies out.
Yeah.
And that one, you're just, because she's thinking of how she's going to tell this to somebody after. And that, she was just wanted to say, you're so stupid. But she told the black girl the version she was going to tell her friends after.
Do you think Chris Rock knows that racists have co-opted that there's a difference between black people and N-word bit? You remember that bit that Chris Rock did?
Yep.
Do you think Chris Rock knows that racist people have co-opted that to excuse them from using that word?
And by the way,
I'm not talking about all black people when I say...
The fact that the news is covering it is embarrassing. A woman saying something shitty to other people is not fucking news. Like, they're actually covering it on the real news.
Because they want it, whatever's trending, they just throw it up on the
Such
news.
Cunts.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like that's something. I'll say that. This is something.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear black people say there's so many racists, white people, that's something we don't get to see. Like, that's something that opens your eyes as a white guy. You're like, yeah, it shit does happen a lot more than I would have thought it happens. There's a lot more people that let that fly out of their mouth to black people than I would have thought.
And that's what I mean. When you say things like, it's the first thing that comes to mind, you're just angry and it's a release.
Yeah.
It's like, she says she has black friends. This woman doesn't consider herself a racist.
Right.
Patrice said, I've never met a racist. I think there's a lot more people than others realize that if you ask them, they'd say, of course I'm not a racist. But when they're mad, it takes all of 30 seconds for the N-word to come out of their mouth. That's years and years of racial ideas and prejudices
Or it could just
being
be
conditioned.
or it could just be it's the first thing you grab for when you're in a rage.
When that's there's something more to it.
If a guy 400 pounds cuts you off and gets out and goes, hey, why don't you learn how to drive? The first thing you're going to think of is, you fat fuck! It's the first thing you go to, and you don't have a hatred for fat people. I'm not saying she's a racist.
No, but you know it's insulting to be fat.
Yes.
So she's somewhere knows it's insulting to be black.
Not what to insult someone for being black, not to be black, to say something derogatory about that. Like,
you know it's offensive, though, to call somebody fat. That's why you're saying it.
Yes.
Right.
That's the point I'm making. It's like, you don't have a dislike of them. You just grab for the first hammer you hit. It's like, and I'm not saying she's not a racist. I'm not saying she isn't. She might be a total racist. But I'm saying sometimes when people are dropping the atomic bomb with black people and white people arguing, it's race. Like when black people would argue with each other, that's not the first thing they would say. You understand? You grab for the thing that you think will hurt the other person the most. There are people who are racist that do that, and I think there are people who are not racist that just grab for it and swing it because it's a crowbar. And no matter what it is, like if somebody in a wheelchair, you might not say that to them, but it's the first thing you'd want to say. Fucking asshole in the wheelchair. Like it's just the thing in front of you.
Doesn't mean you're anti-handicapped people.
Yeah, it's just, and again, but you can be a racist. I'm not saying she isn't.
Right. We're just talking bigger
Yeah,
picture.
like a lot of times you grab for what you think is the atomic bomb.
Yeah, I think that
you're
there's...
angry and it slips out.
Yeah, but calling someone fat isn't universally known as a bad thing to do.
But it is in anger. When you say you fat fuck.
Of course it is.
You're not going to get fired from your job.
Of course you would.
Now
it's different than the end. Of course it's
Yeah.
different. But we all know that when someone
That's
in
what
the
I'm
office...
saying. Like, she knows better, and that's why this is one of my favorite videos, because she just can't hold
Can you
it
imagine
in.
if this was let's say this was in an office and she's sitting there and the secretary was 300 pounds and fucked everything up and walked in and this woman went, look, I have a lot of fat friends.
That's in a job. That's in a job.
But or wherever it was, it would still stand out as an aggressive, shitty thing.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think a video of someone calling someone a fat fuck goes viral.
It'd be funny, though. It'd be funny to watch.
It would be funny.
If it came
Nothing
across
goes
my...
viral like race.
Especially
So that's
that
just-
word.
Nothing goes... Yeah,
I love this woman. She just couldn't hold it in.
And didn't she double down in an
She
interview?
defended it, yeah.
Which was really...
Yep.
You want to go? There's a time code on the
Yeah, I
interview.
got it.
Okay.
I want to see her interview. Oh, there she is. She's a delight. She looks like Louis Anderson if he lost all his weight.
In your opinion, let me show you my money. It's just as green as yours.
Oh, you're so stupid.
We found Goodman at her home.
I'm a 71-year-old woman who lives in Raleigh. I suffer from tremendous anxiety.
She says that.
By the way, how is this a fucking news story?
Because the lady said the N-word and we can all like point at her and laugh.
But how is this something the local news covers?
Don't worry, we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Wow. God, do I hate the press.
And the women's behavior pushed her to act as she did.
I'm not going to say I'm sorry to them because they kept pushing at it. So, and that's all I'd really like to say.
What about your use of the N-word?
I used that word because they forced me into it.
Do you see how that's incredibly offensive?
Yes, I do. That's why I said it. I would say it again to them.
She says
Oh, she gives no fucks.
Yeah, she's an old lady. She's a cunt.
Right.
But it's also another.
They pushed me into. Imagine arguing with that bitch.
No personal responsibility.
None.
Zero.
It's their
they
fault.
made me say it.
Yeah, they pushed me into it, and I'd say it again. Can you imagine living with this cunt?
She comes from a different time.
Exactly. And I think that, like,
she does.
You have to, like, I think, like, racial ideas and biases and prejudices and all that stuff. Like, there's less people with that in them now than ever, but that stuff gets ingrained in you, and it gets passed down generation to generation, and sometimes, you know, the lingering effects of it come out in weird ways.
Her explanation made me wish one of them had fucking punched her in the jaw. If she had just said, like, you know, I was mad, I have anxiety, that was really messed up, I shouldn't have said it.
Right, my anxiety got the best of me.
Because most people, after an argument, when you say that in that situation where the other person has said nothing racial to you, and it's just an argument because they're being loud and you're annoyed, when you say that, you can't justify it. You fucked up, it was wrong.
Right.
Just say you were wrong.
Right. Yeah, you have to admit
Say
you were
were fucking wrong.
Take the L on that one.
Yeah, you gotta take the hit.
Say it.
They pushed me into it. I'm 71. I live in Raleigh. She's basically saying, "What'd you expect?"
Let's go to Cliff in Boston. What's up, Cliff? Cliff.
Hey, guys.
Hey, bud.
Hey.
Hey, I don't know if you saw this. I just read it this morning. Apparently, a couple of years ago, Bernie Sanders compared Baltimore to a third world country. And the explanation that I read, this is a Business Insider article, said that when Trump said it, it's racist, but when Sanders said it, it was drawing attention to the poverty and class differences in the U.S.
Well, there is a disgusting double standard with the press,
Thank you,
but
Cliff.
I think Bernie and Trump, and I'm not even saying Trump, I think they have different history of the way they say
And I
things,
think,
too.
well, Bernie's tweet was that more people die in Baltimore at a younger age than they do in North Korea or something.
Would you please tell who's ever on the
That's
phone?
Wyatt.
Just tell them to
They're
talk
so
quietly.
loud.
When you're talking, everybody who screens calls for the show, when Travis talks, you talk quietly. He's on the radio.
Okay, what do you have for the show?
It's a different thing. He wrote, residents of Baltimore's poorest boroughs have lifespans shorter than people living under dictatorship in North Korea. That is a disgrace.
That's a great example.
It's a well said thing.
But do you see how much humanity is in that?
Yes.
Like, you see how he's actually acting
Residents.
like the residents of Baltimore are
Matter.
actual people whose deaths are a sad thing, not just, you know, what human would want to live in the filth
Trump
of...
doesn't say it as well. That's again, but I'm sure you could find a lot of other examples of other things that have nothing to do with race or humanity where Trump says it crass. Or Trump says it worse than somebody else
100%.
says it.
He says everything worse,
communicates
but it is... I just think that there's...
Even when he's being nice, he makes you uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. He's an uncomfortable speaker. And he's honest to a fault, for sure, because he just tells you...
Emotionally, he's very
Emotionally.
honest. He cannot emotionally lie. He can bullshit like every other politician, and he has a litany of lies like every one of them does, but emotionally, he cannot hide it.
But when they're... And that can be very telling, right? I think... On a level, on an intellectual level or whatever, he's probably not sitting there and saying that he is a racist person and that he likes this type of people better than that type of people. But it seems like when he gets to an emotional level, he uses different language for different people, and he talks down and removes humanity when he's talking about people of color.
I want to see him.
Not to say that he shouldn't be talking about Baltimore, because Baltimore's a tremendously problemed
What
area.
are other examples of him removing humanity? Because he's really insulting. He's really insulting the place and the job the guy is doing. No human being would want to live there. I think he's in that one. He's just saying the people who live there couldn't want to.
I mean, I know what he's trying to do.
I don't think. That's if you take humanity,
if you take the racial coding out of it, I get what he's saying, but the racial coding is there.
But I mean, I don't even think that's...
And I'm not saying it's intentional. Like, it's not some grand plan that Trump has to get his racist message across. But the reality is, I don't even know if Trump realizes that he's got a lot of racial bias in
But
it.
in that one, I don't see it because he says no human beings. He's not saying the people that live there aren't human. He's saying no human being would want to live there. You don't. Nobody wants to live under those conditions.
But he's not thinking about the people that live there.
Well, he's thinking about the shit job, this guy. I don't think he's going beyond that level. This guy sucks. Look at this dump. This guy sucks. Like, it's just that. This guy stinks. He stinks at his job.
Yes, that's his intention. And the black lawmaker stuff is ridiculous. He'd be trashing this lawmaker regardless. But he just speaks differently about places where people of color live than he does other places.
And now they're showing all these fucking horrible living conditions people of Baltimore have.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people who are making this an issue about whether or not he said Baltimore is a shitty place have a terrible argument. Like, that's not what this is about.
And they're actually and they're letting Cummings off the hook for obviously doing a terrible job.
Yeah, that's also not what this is about. The people were like, he's not doing such a bad job. You're not focusing on what make this about it one issue or the other. Like this isn't about like Trump can be pointing out that somebody's doing a bad job who is doing a bad job.
Yeah.
And still have language in there that you're like, okay, like I know what he's saying.
But
now.
of course, the progressives focus on
It doesn't.
he's a black lawmaker. Like he can't be insulted after he says something shitty about the press. I mean, stop it.
Why can't we sit there and say, this is what I took from it. In my opinion, there's some problematic stuff going on with his language, and there's deeper issues there. Also, Baltimore's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Baltimore's a dump.
So it's like, but we can't do both of those things because you're either fully on one side or you're fully on the other.
That's it.
You know, that's all it is.
Today was fun.
It was great.
Tomorrow, President Trump will be in studio.
He will, and I'll press him on this.
We'll talk. Yeah.
He's gonna call me a shit human being.
Yeah, and he won't be wrong.
Yeah, he said it's mainly the hair, and I'll go Trump. We know what you're saying.
I'll tell him that. All right. Well, I guess we will take $500 if you know what this is.
It's the AirPods.
You win.
Yes. Lunch is on me, boys. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.